You know him, Roger? Very good guy. Roger, no auto pen. I didn't use an auto pen. Here, Roger, take that.
I will. Thank you. That's great.
Here you go, my man. I don't want to sign each letter. You know, they sign each letter. They hand pens. I used to watch these presidents. One letter. You got to see what it looks like at the end. Never looks too good. Here, Rachel, take that. Take the team thing.
Thank you.
Congratulations. This is really exciting.
Thank you.
As you know, the president really promised the American people the greatest and most monumental celebration in our nation's history to mark our 250th birthday, and that's exactly what he's delivered, including this weekend, which will really be our last major 250 celebratory event, which is the IndyCar Freedom 250 Grand Prix race. You know, the last time Washington, D.C. saw a race of this kind, Thomas Jefferson was president, and it was America's 25th birthday back in 1801, and they did it with horses. This time around, we're going to bring it into the 21st century. We're going to have 25 Indy cars flying around the nation's iconic streets, going upwards of 180 to 190 miles per hour. We are expecting close to 1 million people descending on Washington, D.C. for this, and it is going to be such a unifying and magnificent event.
For people in D.C. Who may be new to IndyCar, what can we expect when we see this track start to lay out? All the road closures are starting to roll into place. So what can we expect?
A lot of excitement. I mean, these cars we're driving, it's super fast race cars. We're going to drive right on the streets of DC. So it's going to be a spectacular event. Like I said, a lot of action. It's 25 cars in the Grand Prix. So it's going to be close racing up to 180 miles an hour top speeds. So it's it's going to be something.
Now, this is through the streets of a major U.S. city with all that. How different is this than anything that you've ever done?
Yeah, so we do, all kinds of different tracks in IndyCar racing. So we go to road courses, ovals, but we also do some street course races similar to this one in DC. But I think what makes this one so specific and unique is just the setting, right? In front of all these amazing historical buildings, and it's just a very unique opportunity for us. And I think just this race, the Freedom 250 Grand Prix, is just going to be a very spectacular race that's very different to anything else.
Hey everyone, Alex below. I'm very excited. First ever time at DC. Let's see how it looks on the simulator. Heading to turn 1 now. Really high braking zone. Braking just before 300 feet board. Really tight here, first gear. Heading to turn 3. Very narrow area. I think it's going to be super tricky. With a setup, just to trying to get our setup right. Turn 5 now. I think it's going to be an overtaking spot. Second gear, and now heading into I would call it the fun zone, and quite high speed this chicane. Like we're on second gear, but really high on RPM, and that's it. That's a lap around DC. Very excited to try it. You can see the pit entry here, very narrow. But yeah, excited to see it live.
What a backdrop we have here in the streets of Washington, D.C. for the Freedom 250 event.
I mean, how cool is this? Here we are, Washington, D.C., in the city streets, and we're going to be racing 250 miles.
The Freedom 250 Grand Prix is going to be more than just an IndyCar race, more than just an IROC race. This is a celebration of what our country's given us. You know, usually we're going around to legendary tracks, but this weekend we get to build one.
What an unbelievable undertaking to build a street circuit in Washington, D.C. 150, 170 down Pennsylvania Avenue and Capitol Building, the mall. What a privilege.
Hi, I'm Bud Danker, President, Penske Corporation, and now Chairman of the Freedom 250 Grand Prix. Why don't we go take a walk on the track? So here we are, Pennsylvania Avenue. This is our racetrack. We're going to turn at 9th Street, which is just around the National Archives. Race to Constitution Avenue, 7th Street, bombing down to the National Mall, and back around here to the start-finish line. To have a racetrack, you have to have wide roads. Pennsylvania Avenue is 92 feet wide. I needed 91 feet to have a pit lane to my left and a racetrack to my right. You get 92. That fit perfectly. This racetrack has 227 manhole covers. Every manhole cover I have to take off, have Secret Service look inside, have the utilities look inside, and then I have to cover it back up and weld them down. And the reason why? Our cars create so much suction that if they weren't welded down, our manhole covers would be lifted off into the air. We'll have 140,000 people here each day. And by comparison, last year's Super Bowl had 70,000. We're going to double that. All fans are free, August 22nd, 23rd. Our president will be waving the green flag. So it's going to be so cool. It's going to be so epic. And Secretary Duffy will be up there to wave the checkered flag for the finish of the race. This is not for me. It's not for IndyCar. This is truly for our country. Looking forward to showcasing this event to the world. I'll see everybody in a few days right here at our nation's capital.
Yeah, baby. That's that. I'm gonna love watching that. I hope you guys are gonna love watching that. I have a whole show built into this. President Trump and Melania are going to be coming out and talking about her initiative that goes along with what they're doing during the race. But I'm gonna have to jump. We've got some breaking news. The FBI just held off a terror attack in New York City. And I think that's something we should probably go to and listen to what they're saying and how they were able to thwart this possible terror attack. And then we'll come back to the show. So let me do this. I've got it paused so that you guys don't miss anything. We're going to go to it like right. Is it this the right button? No, we're going to go to that button. And then I just got to hit play here. All right, so play.
Support or resources to a designated foreign terrorist organization, namely the Islamic Republic of Iraq, commonly known as ISIS. On Wednesday, August 19, 2026, Bowie was apprehended by law enforcement for her actions attempting to provide material support to designated foreign terrorist organizations. Bowie had plotted to use an explosive device to attack the New York State Capitol and the New York State senators. The American people embody an enduring spirit of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, values fundamentally opposed by foreign terrorists. Organizations such as this one and this defendant is accused of supporting. As alleged, this defendant was radicalized online and spread messages of hate and violence against the American people. Under the leadership of President Donald J. Trump and Attorney General Todd Blanche, the Department of Justice, along with our law enforcement partners here today, will continue to use every resource at our disposal to identify, investigate, and stop anyone who seeks to engage in terrorist acts. The charge against Bowie carries a statutory maximum prison term of 20 years, a fine of up to $250,000, and a lifetime term of supervised release. The charge in the complaint is merely an accusation. the defendant is presumed innocent until and unless proven guilty. The allegations in this complaint are deeply disturbing. That someone would harbor such hatred toward our way of life and seek to target the New York State Capitol and New York State senators, that's an attack on democracy itself, and one we will not tolerate. I'm incredibly proud to work with the men and women of the FBI and our law enforcement partners who identified, investigated, and ultimately stopped this defendant before she could act on her plot to bring terror to the Capital Region and the United States. I am grateful for their dedication, and the people of the Capital Region and across the nation share in that gratitude. Before I turn it over to Special Agent in Charge FBI Craig Tremaroli, who will discuss the investigation in further detail, I want the American people to know this. Today's announcement will have a chilling effect on anyone in this country who is being radicalized or considering acts of violence, and on our enemies whose governments support death to America. We are vigilant, we are prepared, and just as we stop this defendant, we will continue to disrupt plots and protect the American people. My office looks forward to aggressively prosecuting this case and delivering justice for the American people. This time, I'd like to turn it over to Special Agent in Charge, FBI, Craig Tremaroli.
Thank you to our First Assistant United States Attorney, John Sarcone, and thank you all for being here today for this very significant announcement. I want to sincerely thank our partners from Secret Service, Albany Police Department, New York State Police, the Albany County Sheriff's Office, and HSI. As the First Assistant United States Attorney said, Jessica Bowie was arrested by FBI Albany's Joint Terrorism Task Force and has been charged by the Northern District of New York with attempting to provide material support or resources to a designated foreign terrorist organization. In this instance, that foreign terrorist organization is ISIS, perhaps one of the most vicious organizations that is hell-bent on murdering Americans, destroying our democracy, and disrupting our very own way of life. As alleged in the complaint, Ms. Bowie swore her allegiance to ISIS through multiple audio recordings in both English and Arabic. She clearly stated her desire to carry out an attack at the New York State Capitol. In her own words, as alleged in the criminal complaint, she said, quote, "I want to destroy as much of the building as possible and kill the senators while they are meeting. I want them to lose a lot of important documents as well." She continued, as referenced in the complaint, quote, "I don't want to take this kind of risk and have it kill, 2 or 3 people. What good is that?" The complaint alleges that she arranged to have an explosive device made out to carry this attack, even purchasing several of the required materials herself. She conducted surveillance at the Capitol at least 5 times, taking dozens of photos. She requested a gun she intended to use on any law enforcement officer who tried to stop her. More specifically, according to the complaint, she said, quote, "Something powerful, but easy enough to conceal, so if the cops do get towards me during the operation, I can shoot back." As alleged in the complaint, when she met up with the confidential human source to retrieve the materials she asked for, she paid the agreed-upon price for the gun, and when asked to make a donation to the purported bomb maker, she provided another $200. And I want to be clear, she left that meeting with both items. Make no mistake about it, Miss Bowie's alleged plot was serious, it was dangerous, and thanks to the partnerships on the FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force, it was foiled. This investigation started just over a month ago, and I'm incredibly proud of the work of our team, who worked around the clock to accomplish this disruption and subsequent arrest. Now we begin the process of working backwards to determine what led to her actions. We will continue to dedicate every resource to ensure she's held accountable for her alleged actions. We are thankful to do it in concert with our outstanding partners at the Northern District of New York, who have matched our intensity and passion with this investigation since its inception. As we stand here today, we're just weeks away from commemorating the 25th anniversary of the attacks on 9/11. This investigation highlights the harsh reality that there are still adversaries intent on conducting terrorist attacks on American soil. As alleged in this complaint, Ms. Bowie is one of them. You'll see in the court documents that she once wrote, quote, "Praise be Allah" for September 11th. Also in the court documents, she told the source that she went from a little girl waving an American flag after 9/11 to now having stickers of the fallen towers. Folks, let that sink in. Again, Ms. Bowie didn't just want to kill lawmakers, she wanted a complete disruption of our government. And after that, she planned to flee the country and one day come back to, quote, do more, such as New Year's Eve in Times Square, even stating she would come back to attack the White House and the president, but only after she bombed the state capitol. I'm here with our partners to say, not on our watch. Let this be a message to any individual out there considering similar criminal acts. This FBI will find you. Under this leadership team, alongside our brilliant partners, we're moving more decisively than ever to identify, locate, arrest criminals before they can carry out their alleged plots. Since the beginning of 2026, this FBI has already prevented over 400 individuals from carrying out such alleged attacks here at home and abroad. This FBI is built to crush those threats and defend Americans, and we will. As I turn it back to First Assistant U.S. Attorney Sarcone for questions, I just want to be clear that we included an incredible amount of detail in this criminal complaint. But at this point of the investigation, we must stick to just those facts. We'll do our best to answer any questions you may have, but please understand this is a very active and ongoing investigation. Turn it over to First Assistant United States Attorney.
Thank you. Thank you, Craig.
All right. Wow. This is quite a case that the FBI is laying out here. Let's bring in former FBI Assistant Director Chris Swecker. He served more than 20 years as an
Wow. Wow. Didn't think we'd be covering that this morning, that this afternoon, that there'd be a potential terrorist attack in the making. Again, I think what struck me as he was saying that, he said 400 different people. We don't have to worry about an exterior invasion. We don't have to worry about some drones or boats coming here. All we have to realize is that they've brought the people in. When they were crossing the border, we don't know who they brought in. We don't know where they are. Luckily, we're deporting as many as possible. And yet the Democrats have a problem with people being deported. I bet you that even Fox, as they cut away from the press conference, I wonder if the other stations even mention it. Do they even want people to know there's been 400 separate people that they've arrested? This woman wanted to blow up the New York State Capitol. Then she wanted to come back and, take care of Trump in the White House. And it's no big deal to these nuts. None whatsoever. I just hope, I'm going to get back to the show here, but I hope you guys are completely locked and loaded and ready for bear, because these people, I wouldn't trust them at all. Now I got a second bit of, I wouldn't say breaking news, so I won't play the breaking news button, but here's something else you got to hear.
Take care. Thank you. Well, breaking moments ago, the FBI says it disrupted a potential ISIS-inspired terror plot in New York. The agency tells Fox they've arrested a 35-year-old Albany woman.
Wait a minute, I thought that was a different one. Let me see if they talk about it in it. No, I thought I had a different video, but well, Here's the news.
And conduct this type of intervention before anything bad happens, not after.
I'm all kind of discombobulated. Anyway, so they are now investigating Eric Swalwell. They raided his house this morning. They found all kinds of stuff. Funny, we had to wait until he got out of office before they could bring on something on Eric Swalwell. That's absolutely crazy, absolutely crazy. But now Eric Swalwell, he is now being raided. So all the people who keep saying nothing's happening, there's nothing going on. Obviously, there is a lot going on. So SV and I will try to keep you guys abreast of anything, any new changes in terms of breaking news, because it seems like a lot of stuff is happening here late in the week. But let's go back to our show. Our show is today, we're going to have Melania and President Trump are going to be talking. It looks like they've backed it up to like 4 o'clock, which is fine. We got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about. She is doing something with her Fostering the Kids initiative, and the Indy people have decided to partner with her. So we're going to be talking about that. And of course, SV is going to have a bunch of news as well. So since they kind of messed up my my timing, let's just jump into more about the race.
This is a featured presentation from the Fanfare Newsroom.
Washington, D.C. is getting revved up for this weekend's big Grand Prix race. Nothing like this has ever happened before in D.C. The cars are going to be winding through the crazy turns of this nation's capital for our 250th anniversary. Race cars are going to be zooming down Pennsylvania Avenue, over 180 miles per hour. They're going to make a sharp.
Wanted to stop there so you guys can see that. So they've turned the entire area around the White House in the different aspects, but that's the track. They designed the track to go right around the National Mall in front of the Capitol, right by the White House. And there's supposed to be 140 to 160,000 people each day. So they're expecting another perimeter population of close to 600 to 1 million people in Washington, D.C. this weekend.
Turn past the National Gallery, roaring right in front of the U.S. Capitol behind me, and then up to the Washington Monument. I wanted to give you all a sneak preview of the action before it happens and the people who make this extravaganza what it's going to be. Buckle up.
I'm very excited. This is a once-in-a-lifetime event. I don't think that we'll have another chance like this to race around the streets of Washington, D.C., celebrating America in this way.
The Angle spoke to IndyCar driver Stingray Robb.
This is more than just an IndyCar event. This is a celebration of our country, the freedoms that we've been given, the opportunity that we've been given as one of 8 Americans in this series. It's a great opportunity to hopefully fly our home colors on top of the podium.
Stingray is not a nickname. That's your real name. Can you tell us the story behind it?
Yeah, it's usually the first question I get asked. But the story goes, my parents were big Corvette fans, so they decided to name me after the Stingray Corvette. Worked out well that I'm an IndyCar driver now.
And NASCAR legend Kurt Busch, brother of the late Kyle Busch, who'll be racing this weekend.
This is incredible. I mean, what a privilege to race in Washington, D.C. and to be on the city streets and to be going 150 miles an hour and celebrating America's birthday. I mean, the Freedom 250 with the IndyCar race and then with the old IROC group getting together and the Legends racing on Saturday. I think it's a perfect mix.
You know, it's really weird. Some of you are probably as old as I am, or maybe older, and I never would have thought that I would have seen so many firsts with President Trump being president. I never thought I would see a UFC fight at the White House. Never thought about it. And of course, I would have never thought that we would have seen a IndyCar race running around the monuments and in the White House. So we're seeing things. We, no matter what your age, have never seen this before. Yes, it's the America 250. It's a celebration, but nonetheless, one of the things I think President Trump is showing all of us is this is what life can be like. Why haven't we celebrated life in Washington, D.C.? Why hasn't it been a place where we could all go and enjoy all kinds of different events at the capital of the country? That's one of the things I like. And at the same time, you know, the idiots hate it. The idiots hate fun. They don't want you going to big events. They don't want you going to football. They don't want you going to sports. They don't want you, unless, men playing in women's sports, unless they're already in there. It's insane. There are too many contrasts. Something feels like it's going to break. We are looking forward to this. I think those of you who are going to go, those who are going to watch it and say, wow, this is something special. And I feel like all they want to do is dump on joy. Just whatever kind of acid they can put on happiness, they're going to do it. And a lot of those people are on the right. That's why I put up the poll that I did in the chat. And I'm like, are you tired of it yet? Are you tired of saying emergency? Trump's messed up. Trump's doing something bad. Oh my God, it sucks what Trump's doing. And I'm thinking to myself, what do you people do in your oh, you don't have any spare time. You're just miserable all the time. All you want to do is, I pray for some of these people. I pray that it's just for clicks, likes, and Elon bucks. I hope that's what it's for, because I can't imagine these people being so miserable all the time. What's their family life like? If they have family lives, because some of these people post 100 times a day. And all the posts are doom and gloom. And I'm like, this is supposed to be a great time. Hey, I remember, this is pretty, you guys will be right there with me, because I know you guys don't like me talking about prosperity, but I'm going to talk about the opposite of prosperity. I'm going to be talking about being broke. Wondering, what are we going to have for dinner tonight? I remember that. And every single one of you who remembers that, you also know there were good times. You can sit back and go, yeah, I remember when we did that. We didn't have any money, so we just went out and played in the leaves in October. And we had a great time. And then our friends came over and we rolled around in the leaves. Little simple things that made us happy. Hey, we don't have money to go on vacation. Let's go to, the river, or back in Connecticut, we had reservoirs and the swing into the water. Of course, I didn't do it because I was too big, and also I couldn't swim. But I loved hanging out with my boys and some of the girls from high school. I remember bringing kegs and putting them in the river because the water was so cold. And we didn't have any money, but we had fun. And it seems like this entire Democrat, socialist, commie insanity, they're trying to suck the life out of us. And I'm like, just the opposite. Let's have fun.
What did it mean to you to be inducted into the NASCAR Hall of Fame this year?
It's an honor. It's a prestigious title to be a Hall of Famer. Me and my brother are the winningest brothers in NASCAR history. I miss him dearly, and when we raced together, we were like teammates. We pushed each other to find new limits, and so that's gone. But at this time, with Brexton, his son, racing, I just hope to be a proud uncle and help out and make sure that he gets what he wants out of his motorsports career.
The Freedom 250 Grand Prix was created via Trump executive order last January, and the man entrusted to take the project to the finish line is Bud Denker, the president of Penske Corporation.
When's the moment where you realize this race is going to happen? It's not just a pipe dream.
January 30th, Laura, because that was when the president signed the executive order to make this happen.
How many drivers, how many personnel to make it all happen, from the pits to the technical to the setup of the stands? How many?
Well, there's 25 drivers who were racing here on Sunday. We've got thousands working here. You see what it takes to put all this on, the walls, the fence, 5 bridges across Pennsylvania Avenue, Independence Avenue. We have to weld down 229 manhole covers because our manhole covers will fly off because the race cars will suck them off.
Wait, they'll fly off?
They will. Our cars create 4,000 pounds of downforce. It's like a vacuum cleaner.
For people who think this is some kind of partisan event or this is just a Trump event, this is a racing event. This is real competition with real prize money.
It's a country event. And from day one, since I got here, with over 100 meetings on Capitol Hill, I was on both sides of the aisle.
And I'm going to be beating the track record with you in a few minutes, apparently.
You want to drive?
Well, hello. Duh.
What he was saying is so true. Remember when Democrats and Republicans could both talk and work things out for the betterment of the country, where we actually had discourse. And now nobody on the left wants to talk to anybody on the right. And at this point, I think there's many on the right don't want to talk to anybody on the left. Go screw yourself. We don't care anymore. You guys have made this wedge where we are living in basically two different societies. A society on the left that hates everything, hates America, although they live in America, came here to get a better life, but they hate America and want to take us back to the way you live in other countries, which makes no sense whatsoever. And on the other side, here on the right, we're just like, leave us alone. Just let us alone. Give us the opportunity to get out the way. We don't need your heavy hand of government in our lives. Leave us alone. I don't want your Medicare for all. If you want to give Medicare or some sort of health care to people who can't afford it, fine. But we shouldn't have to take it. We shouldn't have to have it shoved down our throat. I'm waiting for them to come out and say SNAP benefits for everybody. Hey, everybody gets free food. Everybody gets free everything. And we just watch the entire country go down the tubes. We can't get there. We can never let that happen. And over the next, I was talking, it was thinking so quickly. I was talking to SV before the show, and I was saying most of the country over the next couple months begins slowing down. It's too cold. People put on their coats and their sweaters and their hoodies, and there's not a whole lot going on. And I said, down here, it's just the opposite. We just start playing. Because once the temperatures go away from what they are right now, and we all can get out of our houses while you guys are going in your houses, everything, it just completely changes. And so what you're going to see over the next couple of months, especially for us down here, and you're going to, even where you are, probably from, let me say, Virginia down, like I've been saying about football, it's going to get crazy in terms of what people are going. That's going to be a quick indication for you guys. I keep telling you, just turn on, even if you don't like a team, turn on and look at Michigan, look at Tennessee, look at Georgia, look at these stadiums. Not just for the money, but for the smiles on people's faces. And if people were so miserable, they wouldn't be smiling. I'm going to take some pictures. We're going down Saturday for the first preseason, home preseason game for the Miami Dolphins, and I'm going to take all kinds of pictures like I did last year. I'm going to show you first. Hey, look, there's people happy. And it doesn't matter what ethnicity you are, what religion you are, or where you are on the socioeconomic scale. There's going to be people up in the suites. There's going to be people in the cheap seats. And everybody there is there for one reason, to have fun. Nobody's going there miserable. Nobody's going and saying, oh, Trump sucks. I can't believe what Trump's doing. I can't believe we're paying higher gas prices. No, I don't know what happens. But something happens in sports where all that stuff just goes away for a couple of hours. Just you know, I know the whole thing about bread and circuses. I've studied that. And if you don't know what bread and circuses is, I can bring that up to you. But this isn't that. It's not just to make people ignore what's going on and give them a little time to get away from the difficulties. No, it's a way of life. If you choose to be miserable, do it alone. I don't need your misery. Nobody in this chat needs your misery. Can you imagine what it's like to be a troll on social media? Our thing here is you have to be a subscriber for at least 20 minutes before you can even bother chatting. So that means somebody, some people, some group of people are waiting for 20 minutes after they subscribe to get in here, say something stupid for SV, Roaring Rage, and Beth and Severo to bounce them. Just understand that mentality of misery, that you're going to sit and wait for the notice to come that says you can now chat, and you wait and say one thing stupid and you're gone. I don't even get that.
Okay, so here we go. What lap are we on here?
We're on the first lap here of the race.
Oh my God. How fast are they going to be going down this stretch, do you think?
85 to 190. Yeah, crazy.
What?
Legally. Yeah, 180, 195 on Pennsylvania Avenue. It's 6/10 and 7/10 of a mile. So it is a good stretch. You know, these cars go 240, so it's not too crazy for them, but crazy for you and I. But the fans, they feel like they're going a million miles an hour.
So the cars are going to be going 185, 190, and I bet you they're going, what, 70 miles an hour at most?
That was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine how, if you've ever seen any of these cars. Like I said, Robin and I used to live in Daytona, and it was NASCAR. It wasn't the same as the Indy cars, and they go, I think, a little bit faster in terms of how fast they go. NASCAR could get up to 180, 190. Then they put the never mind. I'm not going to bore you with that, but they made it so they couldn't go as fast on those big tracks like in Daytona. But anyway, that's what's going on. We have a big race coming this weekend for 2 days. It kind of snuck up on me. I was getting ready for the show, and I'm seeing all this stuff about a race. I'm like, what? Oh, it's the American 250. And then I didn't realize how much it had to do with Melania.
Final preparations for this weekend's Freedom 250 Grand Prix currently underway, and you can watch the big race set against this iconic backdrop on Sunday on Fox. And now First Lady Melania Trump's Fostering the Future initiative is getting involved in all of this excitement too, and expanding with a new partnership. Here with more is Senior Advisor to First Lady Melania Trump, Mark Beckman. Good morning to you, Mark.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. It's an exciting day.
Yeah, tell us about it. What's going to happen?
Well, it's an exciting day. The First Lady has been planning for a long time in establishing this new, very innovative marketing strategic alliance with IndyCar and Fox Sports. And essentially what we're doing is we're creating an expansion. We're building momentum on the number of schools that are participating in Fostering the Future now. So this academic component is expanding nationwide to 26 schools. You'll see the unveiling at the ceremony in the Rose Garden today at 4 p.m.
That's great. Why is this so important to the First Lady? Why is this one of her platforms?
It's critical. What she's doing, Ainsley, is she's building an academic platform for individuals in foster care so that they can go on, secure an entry-level job, and be financially autonomous. This financial independence gives them the ability to stay off the streets, stay away from drugs and getting mixed up with other things, and having a life in the future. The other side of Fostering the Future, Ainsley, which is really critical, is also the Fostering the Future accounts, which, as you know, she just set up with Treasury Secretary Bessent. So now we have these two pillars: academics, you could take that with you for the rest of your life, and an account that you can access when you reach adulthood, a savings and financial investment account. And that allows for these individuals to really live on their own, not worry about having the government support them, and it makes a better community, a better America.
Yeah, that's so sweet, because a lot of these children are passed along from home to home to home, and they don't have some of them don't ever meet their biological parents. So you're also adding job training, mentoring, housing resources, and how do these accounts work for these children?
So the Fostering the Future accounts are really critical. Essentially what happens is we need every single state to pledge to participate and support these accounts. Now what's happened to date is we have every red Republican governor on board, but unfortunately only 2 blue states in Colorado and Hawaii. So we need the rest of the Democrat liberal governors to come on board and commit to helping America's children. We'll have that all in place. And essentially these savings and investment accounts will accrue value over their lifetime. No one can touch them. When the individual from foster care reaches adulthood, they could access that account and use it for whatever they want: education, home, starting a new business. It's really super innovative, and it's because of the First Lady of the United States.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that these people hate Trump so much that they're standing in the way of foster children becoming prosperous? How sick of an individual do you have to be? How sick of a political ideology do you have to stand in the way of foster children getting prosperous? Kids who've lost their parents are living with somebody else, and we're going to find a way so that the same thing like the Trump accounts, these are going to be for foster kids, and these foster kids aren't, in the blue states, aren't able to participate because you hate Trump so much that you don't even want foster kids to be able to learn all of this and basically enjoy a prosperous adulthood. That should be criminal. That should be looked upon. That should be talked about on every station, that you're standing in the way of these kids basically not needing Democrats. I guess that's what the problem is. Because once people realize they do have an out, once people realize that they can move forward and be self-sufficient, they don't need Democrats anymore. And if you don't need a Democrat, then their entire ideology goes away. All this cradle to the grave nut jobbery that they do, when people realize, I don't need you coddling me from great cradle to the grave. I'm good. I'll be fine. But they don't even want to help kids. Just let that sink in. Tell your friends, tell your family members, coworkers. Do you realize that they don't even want to help kids? Because it steps them outside the realm of the Democrat Party.
Changing lives. Thank you so much, Mark. Great to see you.
Donald Trump is obsessed with spending your money in the dumbest ways imaginable.
All right. So now we got this race. We had the UFC, and I wanted to include the other side. So now you see how the Democrats, the commies, are looking at this race and how they're willing to do anything they can to basically take away from it, including lying to people. One of the problems with X right now is, everyone calls it a big free speech platform, but what it really is the ability for anybody, even the people on the right, the panicans, to completely lie without impunity. They can say whatever they want at any time, and nobody, unless it's a community note, calls them out on their bullcrap. And so I found this lying-laden piece about the race.
The UFC fight on the White House lawn, now Trump is moving on with NASCAR on the Capitol. It's the Freedom 250 Grand Prix, to be exact, on August 22nd and 23rd. And it's estimated to cost you and I $25 million on the low side, and will at least...
Lie. See, you can put out any kind of video you want. You can lie as much as you want. Nobody calls you on it, but then the lie goes halfway around the world before any of the idiots on the left even understand. Oh, I shouldn't say left. There's a lot of idiots on the right who would believe that. Again, President Trump has to keep stressing over and over and over at his meetings and wherever he goes. Yeah, that guy, he's got a lot of money. He's paying for it. Well, this thing here that you're going to be watching this weekend was paid for by the guy that was driving, well, not the guy, but the company that was driving Laura Ingraham around. It was paid for by Penske in a large portion and other people. Not taxpayer money. Completely a lie. Made it up just to try and inflame people.
Acquire $3 million on road construction alone, as House Republicans are lining up to give him every penny he's asking for.
All right, so the road, the reconstruction on the road, that's the road. It's not like after the race they're going to rip it up. The roads are going to be paved. It's going to be clear for everybody in America to use for a long time. The roads had decayed. There was a separate budget that was put in place, not by Republicans, but by a joint session of Congress to go ahead and repave the roads around the Capitol. President Trump accelerated the timeline so that we could get these roads looking good and then use them for the race that his other people are paying for. But they don't tell you that, because otherwise you would think, well, we spent $3 million to fix the roads, and he just did it because of the race, as if they're going to roll it up on some sort of asphalt roller and take it away afterwards. No, the roads will still be there for everybody who lives in D.C. and visits D.C. to ride on for quite some time. But they won't tell you that.
Families struggle to afford groceries, rent, and health care. Washington is spending taxpayer money, turning the nation's capital into another political spectacle. And let's be real.
Every word, the fiber of Democrat being is about the poor peoples. If you once you start looking at it like I do, because I have to watch so much news, once you start looking at it and you see that the messaging is always the haves versus the have-nots, the poor peoples versus the people, the rich people, everybody who can afford, I don't know, a muffin in the morning is rich, I guess, compared to them. You're taking money away that you could be, what? Go ahead and say it, giving to these people. Because that is, in essence, what they're saying. You're taking money, I know it was appropriated to pave the roads, but you don't need to do that. Just be like Obama and Biden, let everything fall into disrepair and give it to people, which none of us sign a check in April to do. It's never been the promise. The promise has never been take what I have and give it to somebody else. But the Democrats have completely turned around the whole scam of income tax to begin with. It's not about anything to them but giving money to other people. Complete redistribution of wealth. And it's not even wealth. They're taking it from everybody. They don't care who it's from. I got a story coming up about Mondami is going to prove that. It has nothing to do with redistribution of wealth. It's a 100% redistribution of what you got. And it doesn't matter who is paying it. The plumber, the electrician, the grocery store clerk. If you're paying something, they're going to give it away.
Trump will probably fall asleep anyway. It's time Trump and Republicans focus on the real problems we face, not the kind they create themselves, instead of blowing millions on another of Donald Trump's costly naps.
You see how weak you'd have to be to understand what they're saying there? That's how bad it is. We are in a low information, complete misinformation, actual disinformation era at this point. And we're seeing it in these primary elections right now where these Democrats are all of a sudden socialists because, wow, that's a cool thing to say today. And we keep watching these stupid polls and everything they do is complete BS. And unless you are informed enough to combat it, it leaves you at a disadvantage because you may not have known that Penske was paying for the race. You may not have known that the road budget was already in place a couple years ago. And by the way, you obviously know that no one's rolling up the streets. You know it's still going to be there for everybody to use. So in that regards, it's absolutely nuts. So I see it's 3:48. The feed just came up at this point, and as the feed's coming up, I'm seeing people in the Rose Garden. So let me get to SV real quick before this thing starts. What do you got, man?
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. You troll hunting today?
Oh, absolutely, man. Rumble is heating up.
Oh, gosh. All right. So what do you got? What's number one here? Number one is Marco Rubio.
Yes.
All right. Talk to me about this.
All right. He put out a statement earlier. The Cuban regime has spent decades using front groups to infiltrate, corrupt, and radicalize Americans. Today, I'm sanctioning the leadership of ICAP, which is one of the primary organizations involved in these efforts, including convicted Cuban spy Fernando Gonzalez.
Hey.
We're live? We're live.
The boss is there. Okay.
Boom.
Thundering through.
Good afternoon. I heard you missed me. Here I am. Welcome to the White House. A warm welcome to our distinguished guests today, Mr. President, my father, Mr. Knaus, cabinet members, Mr. Penske, Mr. Bowles, Mr. Shanks, the talented drivers, our universities, and the remarkable individuals who stand in support of my Fostering the Future initiative. The greatest investment America can make is not in technology, infrastructure, or capital markets. It's our children. We are at the beginning of an era defined by artificial intelligence, robotics, and industries that have yet to be imagined. But America's greatest competitive advantage remains in its own people. Tomorrow's leaders are sitting in classrooms today, including those growing up in foster care. Their capability is no less remarkable. Fostering the Future elevates America's youth based on merit and talent, lifting them beyond economic circumstance and every other condition that may limit opportunity. Our mission is simple yet transformational. Provide every young person from the foster care community the chance to earn a college education, launch a meaningful career, and achieve lasting financial independence. Today, Indiana University and Purdue University join Fostering the Future's growing coast-to-coast alliance of leading academic institutions. Congratulations and thank you. Together, they expand a national network of 26 universities that prepare our foster youth to shape America's growth. I'm very proud to share that this last spring, Fostering the Future scholarships supported the education of our first doctor. He will change the lives of so many people. Tomorrow, thanks to visionary partners such as IndyCar and Fox, Fostering the Future graduates will build new companies, launch new industries, and redefine what is possible for all Americans. Fostering the Future is more than an educational initiative. It is generational investment in America's talent pipeline. Every student who graduates strengthens our workforce, accelerates innovation, expands economic opportunity, and reduces long-term dependence on government assistance. The return of this investment is measured not only in lives changed for the better, but in stronger communities, a more competitive nation, and a future powered by American ingenuity. Education is the one asset that can never be taken away. It is the foundation upon which confidence is built, opportunities created, and the future is invented. And finally, look at this incredible race car, gorgeous and powerful. I'm sure we cannot wait to see it start its engine. Good luck to all of the drivers and teams on Sunday's race. And now, it is my pleasure to introduce a true champion, the chairman of Penske Entertainment and owner of IndyCar, Mr. Roger Penske.
Well, welcome, everyone. What an honor to be here today to represent many of you and the companies you represent to support the First Lady's program, Fostering the Future. When you think about what the First Lady is committed to in her leadership, her commitment, and also to drive education amongst our younger generation. But you send a powerful message about our country that we are committed to education and fostering the next generation. Our company and Fox have the same core values, and that's giving back. We're so excited today to be part of launching this commitment to fostering the future. Thinking about the young people that are here today, they're going to be the benefactors, have an education, build a career, and I might say many of them might be the leaders of our country and our business. When I think about the future and I think about what we have today, we will have this weekend an amazing, iconic 250-mile Freedom Grand Prix. And it will cap off 250 years anniversary of our country. And with a powerful message that the First Lady has given us, millions of people around the world will see this history being made. And what about the thousands of people that will come here on their own to see the event and be part of that as we go forward? We're very excited. I can tell you, Mr. President and Madam First Lady, we are very excited to be part of this. Your commitment, the country's commitment for youth and education is certainly our rising star. Thank you very much. At this point, I'd like to introduce Doug Bowles, who is the president of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Doug?
Well, good afternoon, Mr. President, First Lady. Thank you so much for hosting us here in this beautiful Rose Garden. It's really an honor to be here, to be with you, especially to talk about fostering the future. Thank you, Roger. You know, it's an honor to be here representing IndyCar. It's America's original racing series. In fact, our first national points-paying race was in June of 1905 here on the East Coast in Bronx, New York. So this is America's sport, and to be able to race the Freedom 250 in our nation's capital is outstanding. But Roger, you've championed our sport for so long, not just IndyCar racing, but the sport in general. But what you have brought to IndyCar since you've come is unbelievable. And we would not be here today getting ready to race in our nation's capital, around Washington, D.C., around the National Mall without your passion. You know, if we today had to write the history of motorsport, you could not do it without a volume specifically about Roger Penske, starting with your passion, your commitment, your leadership, and certainly your success. Thank you so much for all you've done for our sport. As Roger mentioned, IndyCar is honored to stand here with the First Lady to take part in fostering the future alongside our friends at Fox. Like most, I'd only a small understanding of fostering. In fact, it was only the basics like food, shelter, and stability. Those were the things that I thought about when I thought about fostering children. What I've learned along the way and understanding what fostering the future does, there are so many challenges that our foster kids face, especially at 18 when they become emancipated and are left without the infrastructure or the resources to immediately move into adulthood. In fact, I met one earlier today, Jaden Martinez, who's the son of Texas, who's one of those young men who we know out here. Thank you, Jaden, for being here and being a voice for fostering the future. Fostering the future, like an IndyCar pit crew, provides tools, support, and resources along the entire path of foster care, and especially when foster children age out of the foster care system. Funding higher level education is one of the biggest challenges, and as the First Lady said, education and investing in our youth is so important. This partnership with Fostering the Future will open doors for our youth and honor two great educational institutions in our home state, Indiana University and Purdue University, by providing scholarships to allow these young adults to continue their education at these world-class institutions. You know, IndyCar is a sport that requires talent and leadership to succeed. And education at Indiana University and Purdue University through the scholarships from Fostering the Future like this will help harvest those qualities in the next generation. In just a few short days, with the unyielding support of our president, thank you, Mr. Trump, IndyCar will blaze an unprecedented path on the streets of our nation's capital. The stars of the fastest racing on earth will reach speeds in excess of 180 miles an hour as they make their way past the U.S. Capitol building, the Washington Monument, and around the National Mall. They'll put on a massive and very fast spectacle to celebrate our country's 250th birthday. But before they strap in the cockpit and before they put those visors down, we have a few of them here today, and they've come bearing a special gift for the First Lady. I'd like to welcome those drivers right now, and if they could come up and join us by the left front of this beautiful IndyCar. Six-time IndyCar Series champion and 2008 Indianapolis 500 winner, and the second winningest driver in the history of IndyCar racing, ladies and gentlemen, Scott Dixon. Next, an 8-time IndyCar Series winner and the winner of the 100th running of the Indianapolis 500, the 2016 race, whose wife just became an American citizen this past May at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Ladies and gentlemen, Alexander Rossi. Second-generation American driver and IndyCar Series race winner, Graham Rahal. And finally, 7-time IndyCar Series race winner, Scott McLaughlin. And an important note about Scott McLaughlin. In April of 2025, this New Zealander became an American citizen. Scotty? And Scott, if the First Lady had come up, you have something special for the drivers to present to the First Lady. And once again, on behalf of the IndyCar Series, Mr. President, First Lady, thank you so much for all your support in our event this weekend and for hosting us here today. And with that, it's time to hear from the other half of this awesome partnership supporting Fostering the Future. He's Hoosier born, and he's one of the most talented leaders in sports and broadcast. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a welcome to Fox Sports President and Executive Producer, Eric Shanks.
All right, so this is the finish line. Thank you, Doug, and good afternoon, everybody. It's a great time to be in the Rose Garden this afternoon. Standing here today as we talk about the crossroads of sports and opportunity and community, it fills me with great pride as a native of Indiana and an IU alum. Thank you, Pam. Where we are obligated to say that we are national champions on the football field as well as in the classroom. Now, through the work that we do every day at Fox Sports, we believe in investing in the future of America. Today, that commitment takes on an entirely new meaning. On behalf of Fox Corporation and our entire team at Fox Sports, we are extremely excited to partner with First Lady Melania Trump and her visionary Fostering the Future initiative. Fox is honored to provide scholarship funding at Indiana University and also Purdue University alongside our partners at IndyCar to ensure that foster youth have the tools and support to build bright futures. Mrs. Trump, thank you for your leadership in opening these critical doors. You are making a powerful impact for these kids. I also want to extend my thanks to our great partners at Penske and IndyCar, both Roger Penske and Doug Bowles. Together, we aren't just creating pathways for these incredible students, we are also making history this weekend. Fox Sports presents a landmark event this weekend with the Freedom 250 IndyCar Grand Prix right here in Washington, D.C., racing through the nation's capital to celebrate our 250th birthday. This is going to be a celebration of our great country unlike any other. So President Trump and First Lady, thank you for allowing us to have a race in your backyard. It takes incredible partners to pull off an event of this scale while lifting up our next generation at the same time. Thank you all for being a part of this milestone moment. We're going to present the checks to both Indiana and Purdue, and following the check presentation, that's going to conclude our event for today. Thank you for coming.
I love how President Trump, when they do these events, he defers and lets her have her spotlight. This is about Melania, not him. Probably easy day for him. I don't got to talk. I don't have to say anything. No stupid people from the press are going to ask me any questions. So pretty easy day for him. So just let you guys know, as I'm doing this without the music so the people upstairs don't get pissed off. That race will be this weekend. I won't be able to show it, but I have a very good reason why I can't show it. And it goes to what you can tell the people on the left, the nut jobs. Like you heard that one guy who said, we're spending $25 million. And I told you the Penske guys, the guy with the white hair who spoke, they wrote the check. And Fox is in partnership, and Fox gave Melania there a big check for $2 million for fostering the future. Now, the business side of that, just so you guys understand, because you see it here with me, I read commercials, I do ads, YouTube runs ads. They're going to liquidate the amount of money that they spent donating for the race to take place. That 25 or 30 million that they put up, they're going to be running sponsorships and obviously commercials during the 250-mile race. So it's self-liquidating. They're going to have giant, sponsorship booths and suites and everything else that they've constructed, and they sell those out to people who want to, be right there at the race. Down here, whenever we do the big F1 race in Miami, the guy who runs the Dolphins makes more money on that one race than he does the entire NFL season. So there's a lot of money, a tremendous amount of money. Stephen Ross, there's a lot of money in racing. Big money, so they can afford to liquidate. By partnering with Fox, they're going to run commercials, they got sponsorships, and that's how they can afford it. Democrats don't want people to understand how it works. They don't like anybody understand how the liquidation of upfront money comes on the back end. So whenever you see somebody say that the Republicans are spending all this money that could go to someplace else, no, it's how the deal is constructed. You guys pay up front, you give us the fee, you pay for everything, and in return, this is what you get. You get to sell sponsorships, you get to sell ads, you get to do all of that stuff to liquidate your investment. That's President Trump, and that's Mr. Penske walking with him as they go back in. So just wanted to let you guys know that, because I think it helps when you guys are armed for the argument that inevitably comes. But that's being said. All right, before I do my ad, let me bring SV on. What do you got, man?
Hey, why are there so many commercials, Barry? Come on, man. What the hell?
I think to myself when I see some of the people like, man, there's so many YouTube ads. And what's your point?
It's a business.
What's your point?
Business.
If you turn on Fox, guess what? What are you going to see every 12 minutes? A commercial. Oh,
Exactly.
God. I don't get it.
Goodness.
I don't understand. See, that's what happens when you're not dependent upon likes and clicks, and you don't have to talk a lot of crap because you have deals. Never mind. I won't go into all that. But anyway, what do you got?
All right. Anyway, well, do you want me to continue the Rubio one, or?
Yeah, we didn't even get. We didn't. I think you got to the point where saying Marco Rubio said Cuba, and that was pretty much it. So let's go back.
I was saying the spy's name, Fernando Gonzalez Lewis.
Fernando Gonzalez, bad guy. All right, so let's go ahead and do this. All right, you got it.
All right, so Marco Rubio is imposing sanctions on the Cuban regime. So he says the Cuban regime has spent decades using front groups to infiltrate, corrupt, and radicalize Americans. Kind of like what happened today. Today, I'm sanctioning the leadership of ICAP, which is one of the primary organizations involved in these efforts, including convicted Cuban spy Fernando Gonzalez Lewis and 9 entities that sustain and fund the regime's repressive apparatus. Anyone supporting, sponsoring, or providing services to these sanctioned actors is at risk of being sanctioned themselves. Foreign banks and other companies that provide services to or hold funds for these entities should take immediate action to cease their support.
I have a question.
Turn off the speaker.
In the, I don't know, last couple of months, how many times, because I know they don't see it elsewhere, how many times have you seen arrests and indictments and all this stuff happen, yet go on X and go, nothing's happening? And I mean, we just saw the big one with the suspected terror attack. It just doesn't stop. Nothing's happening.
Kind of like some, like a pollster or some, Jones guy or someone else I know about. Never mind.
See, you're gonna make me bring up something. Did you see the last thing I posted about that? I don't understand. It drives me absolutely crazy because I don't understand what the mindset is with all this thing. Where is it? Let me see if I can find it.
Good,
It was
good
this
segue.
one.
Here we go.
It was this one.
All right.
And again, I don't like calling people out, but damn, what are you doing?
Hey.
It just,
Number 4 of that article, right? Number 4, press fact.
it says, history will tell us it's tough to have a populist movement with a leader who disdains people who aren't financial successes. What? What is that? What does that even mean? Are you trying to say
or what?
Are they trying to say President Trump doesn't want to talk to anybody unless they have a financial success? Or are you saying a little bit more about yourself? I'm gonna leave it at that.
Who could it be? Who could it be?
All right, what's this next one you got here? Looks like something with the Strait of Hormuz.
Yeah, so Iran is slowly realizing that President Trump and the U.S. military are succeeding in covertly sneaking oil out of the Strait of Hormuz to the tune of 10 million plus barrels.
Ooh.
Some nights they 15 to 20 million, and that's pre-war flows. Even CNN, did hell freeze over? Had to admit, Iran is losing its grip. He goes, the U.S. is quietly breaking Iran's grip on the Strait of Hormuz. American forces reportedly protecting tankers, moving some 10 million barrels of oil every day through the waterway. As President Trump opens up another front, threatening economic D-Day for countries that help Tehran stay afloat. Iran is going to have nothing left. The mullahs asked for this, and they're getting it.
Good. More people need to understand it because the left side isn't talking about it and they don't think anything is even happening. They think, as they keep saying, President Trump is winning the war and Iran is outsmarting us. Oh, I'm looking at your next story here. Oh, wait a minute. I got to download this. It's a minute. It's a minute.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. You didn't tell me you were going to go there, did you?
Oh, no, I sneak in a couple good nuggets for you, Barry, of course.
Yeah. So, hold on. Let me just bring this in because go ahead and set it up so people can talk about it. Oh, my God.
Sophie Cunningham. She just dropped this line on leftists telling her, stick to basketball. Stop talking about transgender. Cunningham, people are like, you have a platform, use it. Then once you use it, it's like, go back to basketball. I think I could do both.
I can dribble and I can talk and I can do modeling. And there's so many things I can do here. Oh, gosh.
Cunningham has a message for her critics telling her to stick to basketball. She tells USA Today she can do both when it comes to playing the game and speaking out for fairness in women's sports. And while that stand has brought her plenty of support, it also brought some boos on the road. Watch here.
Oh.
Sophie, you got booed a little bit tonight.
Really?
Wait. I got to stop that. Why are you concentrating on the boos? That's the part with the media I don't understand. And I haven't heard this clip, but I like the way she who? Because she's getting inundated with praise, but you want to focus on the boos.
She's like a duck.
You think it was because of the ketchup chips?
The crowd was absolutely amazing. And, I think that's what sports is all about. You're going to get boos, you're going to get cheers. But just the fact that they're so passionate, they're loud, and they're putting on for the city, I think it's amazing. So shout out to you guys for coming out and supporting.
All right. Olympic gold medalist Caitlyn Jenner joins us now. Fox News contributor. Caitlyn, that was great to see you. So become a real target here.
What the? I didn't go to the end to see that. Sorry, Barry. Sorry, folks.
Can you imagine growing up and seeing this guy on the Wheaties box, just the epitome of male masculinity, wins the decathlon, and
But she's
he
taking
sits down
it
when
in
he
stride.
pees.
I guess this is what happens when you rock the liberal boat.
Well, let me tell you, I love Sophie Cunningham. It is wrong for biological men to be in women's sports. She knows that. I know that. She's on the right side of this issue. But anytime you get involved in something that's kind of controversial, you're going to get criticized. And today, with social media and all the things that are out there, you have to be strong. You have to kind of, if you know you're on the right side, you have to kind of self-sacrifice yourself.
Wait.
Oh man, what a world we are in. I saw a picture once.
I forgot about him.
I saw a picture once that had Howard Cosell, and Howard Cosell was in the middle, and on one side was Bruce Jenner, not Caitlyn Jenner, Bruce Jenner. On the other side was O.J. Simpson. And somebody said, could you have gotten into Howard Cosell's ear and said, you ain't gonna believe how this story turns out, okay? Just so you...
Exactly.
You wish you could see into the future, because you'd be like, oh hell.
He's rolling in his grave.
Oh, it's a great picture, because Bruce is right. He's got his arm around him, and he's got his arm around OJ, and it just, I mean, it was sports at the time, and I'm thinking, wow, what that picture summed up everything. Now I'm going to skip ahead to one you have here, because it ties into where we're going next. Where is it? Did you take it down?
Two of them were kind of connected. No.
You took down the guy running. This one. This is the one. Okay, so set this up. What the heck's going on here?
So apparently, let's see, the guy Nate Friedman. Let me start. Yeah, right. Well, it's the Muslim man in New York City storms up to journalist Nate Friedman. That's the video down below, and says in Arabic, "I'm going to unalive you." It was right outside a secret mosque used by illegals to get mail.
Hold on. Oh, I got to stop you sometimes. What the hell
Mailbox.
What the hell is a secret mosque? I mean, how do you have a secret mosque? Anybody want to explain that? Because usually like about 100 guys hanging out, doing all this kind of stuff. I just wondered that nobody tells us the definitions of these things.
Well, apparently it wasn't on the placard outside the building. I guess.
Okay.
He's doing some journalism, kind of like Nick Shirley.
Okay.
Anyway, very high odds they vote out of here too. As soon as Friedman went into the mosque, they tried kicking him out and threatened to call law enforcement. Isn't that rich? That's enough. You have to get out of here. We need to stop allowing our cities and communities to be turned into Islam.
You know what's weird is I thought we're supposed to be all about inclusion and stuff like that, but get out of here. Get out of here.
What? Did you say in Arabic that you're killing me?
Keep off from my garage.
My name is Nate. Nice to meet you. We didn't know it was a mosque because there's no sign.
It doesn't matter.
Would you support a ban on Sharia in the United States?
Well, I would. Obviously, how do I put this?
How do you put it? Yo, wait a minute. Wait. I gotta call a time out there. Yeah. I can't tell you that. If I told you that, I have to kill you.
That's right.
How long has this mosque been here?
Before you ask any question, you have to go to the office.
That's enough.
Right.
You have to get out of here.
I understand.
All right, call the cops for you now.
Are there a lot more Muslim police officers in the NYPD now?
Of course.
Oh yeah, a lot more. Did you run away from an Islamic country and are now going to be voting to turn into an Islamic country?
Wait. So the guy doesn't understand English. He says the question into Google. Can you tell this idiot what I'm saying?
It's time to pray now.
Yeah, okay.
It's 4.
I can't. Oh my gosh.
Hey Barry, I'm just surprised. We're arming them now. They're in the police department. We're giving them guns. What else next?
Gosh.
Bombs.
Now, just so you guys know, you can look that up under whose post was this essay? Because it's Eric. So if you guys want to check it out, it's under Eric Doherty. The whole post here. it's a 25-minute video, as you can see. So if you guys want to watch the whole thing for some comedic relief, feel free, because that's crazy stuff. All right, so I'm going to jump back into. All right, I'm dumbfounded here. Those last two stories just got me. Caitlyn Jenner.
Before you go, there's one more that goes in hand with what happened in New York State. Go to the next cut. Remember that deadly boat crash in New York Harbor a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, they just arrested the dude, did they? Yeah. Okay. What do you got? What do you got here?
So he's in ICE custody. Hernandez was not just in the country illegally, but was not licensed by the Coast Guard. So here he is, has a boat with all the people on it, and a couple people got unalive. So it's another illegal alien. The capsizing resulted in the death of a mother and her child. Horrible.
It just keeps happening. Here we go.
Licensed boat captain at the helm during a deadly crash earlier this month in New York Harbor that killed 2 people is now in the custody of ICE. Alexis McAdams live in our New York City newsroom with the details. Hi, Alexis.
Hi, John. Yeah, it's a really sad story, too. All these families that were impacted by this. Investigators tell us the man behind the wheel was in the country illegally and had no basic boating safety knowledge. The Coast Guard says the boat had way too many passengers, so it capsized and sent more than a dozen people into the New York Harbor. This is 27-year-old Maria Angelica Geraldo. She was there with her 5-month-old baby girl. They were both killed, and the infant did not have a life jacket on, according to investigators. There was not one that was for a child on the boat, we're told. The young family just went out for a nighttime boat tour, but it ended in tragedy. The dad was also on board, but he survived. So imagine that. He comes back up and finds out his family didn't make it.
Just very quiet, very respectful, never any issues. They were just, a regular family, American family, working hard, doing everything that they can.
And the feds say the boat's captain, Manuel Hernandez, was not just in the country illegally, but was also not licensed by the Coast Guard, now facing 2 federal felony charges, 1 for each death. Investigators.
New York, right?
Yeah.
New York City. Yeah, everybody gets a big old tractor trailer license, and everybody gets a boat license. It just go ahead and drive around out there. It's like a car. It's got a brake. It'll slow down.
Hey, Barry, here's a bad thought. Here's a dark thought. Let's see. They're driving trucks illegally. They're driving boats illegally. How about, are they going to be back in the planes?
Oh, wow. Yeah, I don't know. It's scary. It's just scary to think that you just want to go out for a night out of the town with your family, and all of a sudden there's some guy who just not even supposed to be driving a boat. I mean, and I don't know if you've ever been behind the wheel of a boat. Like when Robin and I got on it, it was very scary, because the only way you can back, if you've never been on a boat, the only way you can back up is go into reverse. So it's not like you can step on, there's no pedal that says brake. The boat doesn't work that way. So if you see
steering.
No, there's no power steering. The wheel is actually a false sense of security. It lets you think like you're steering, but in regards, all that's doing is moving a rudder back and forth. But crazy, absolutely nuts. All right, thank you.
Anyway, all right.
I'll be back to you. I don't know what the hell they're doing in New York City. New York City? Oh my gosh. Let me tell you about Lear Capital. Have you ever looked at one of today's biggest investment stories and thought to yourself, boy, I wish I'd gotten in on that sooner? I don't know if you guys check out things. I check the silver market probably once or twice a week or more, depending on if we're on that show. And I always notice that every time oil or the stock market does something, you can count on this to actually happen. Today, it's up 3 5/8. Not bad, not bad. What's a 5-day? The 5-day, 6.27. The last month, 20%. 20% in terms of what's going on. So in that regard, if you want to know more about this and understand it, there's different things that cause it. Maybe it was AI, maybe it was SpaceX you might want to get into. It seems like by the time the rest of us hear about an opportunity, the biggest gains have already happened. But what if the next opportunity isn't the headline? What if the next opportunity is a current opportunity? It's what's making the headline possible. I'm talking obviously about silver. Silver is a critical material behind the AI revolution. It's used in the technology that powers data centers. Oh, by the way, I have a problem with people complaining about data centers. If you live near a proposed data center and somebody tells you it's bad and you want to sell the property, give me a call, because I want as much property around data centers as possible. But that being said, advanced electronics, robotics, infrastructure, AI, they all depend on silver. And here's the thing that they don't want you learning about, because after everyone else catches on, then the price will be sky high. Silver's price prediction is still $150 an ounce plus. And silver has been stuck around the 60, 65 number ever since the war started. So that's why I want you to get a copy of Lear Capital's free report, The AI Revolution. Don't have to buy anything. All you have to do is download the report. It explains why so many investors, like myself, are buying silver even at today's price. Buy low, sell high, folks. If AI keeps growing the way many experts expect, the demand for silver could grow right along with it in the years to come. So call Lear Capital today at 800-601-5430 to get this booklet right here called The AI Revolution. And while you're on the phone, ask how you could qualify for up to $20,000 in bonus silver. I've owned silver for years, and I believe in having tangible assets. Tangible, right there. This one here I have right here so I can show it to you guys. Yeah, tangible, not paper. Don't go with that paper certificate stuff. Actually get the coins. And to do that as a part of a diversified strategy. Whether you decide it's right for you is a decision you're going to have to make. But at least get the information. Get the information before everyone else is talking about it. Call 800-601-5430. 800-601-5430. Or go to learberry.com. Be back in 90 seconds.
Welcome back to Fanfare with Barry Cunningham.
You ever see Godfather 3? In The Godfather 3, and Michael Corleone, he's older. Well, he's probably about my age in the movie. And he says, every time I think I'm out, they pull me back in. And I feel like that after, Robin tells me, stay away from the comments because the comments piss you off. I'm like, I'm ready to get into the next section, but I got to talk about this because I've seen it. So I talked about the data centers a second ago, and I said, if you're around a data center and you don't like it and you want to get out, please give me a call. I'd love to buy as much property around any data center as possible. I didn't say you had to like the data center. I just said if you wanted to get out of the data center, give me a call. To wit, Karen, aptly named. Karen says, Barry, sometimes you just are very attached to your home and land. It's not that you think data centers are bad or evil. And the rest of her thing was what I wanted to point. Says not everyone is interested in money. See, a younger version of myself would say, Bullshit, excuse me. But I'm not going to say that. What I want to say is, and I'm saying this very nicely, is I don't care whether you're interested in it or not. I don't care if you like data centers or not. That's not what I said. What I said was, if you don't want to be there anymore, give me a call. I didn't say you had to accept it. I didn't say you had to deal with it in your neighborhood. And I definitely didn't say you had to like money, because if you don't, I don't even know what you're here for. But whew, wow, not everyone, I can't even say it. Not everyone is interested in money. Perfect lead into where we're headed right now. Oh my God. You actually said that. You actually put it in there. Not everyone is interested in money. Can anybody else comment on that? As you're watching this on your phone or your computer or your laptop or your tablet, paying the electric bill, the internet bill, but you're not interested in money. Got it.
This is a featured presentation from the Fanfare Newsroom.
Hey everyone, I am Angie Nixon, the owner of Cafe Resistance. I've been so busy.
She's been so busy. This is the next communist from Florida, and she didn't realize these videos about Cafe Resistance were there. Oh, you know what I can't wait for? I can't wait till we have the call-in thing set up, because as soon as that thing, you're going to see some different kind of content. Because if I had it set up right now, I'd be like, let's call Cafe Resistance. Hey, yeah, you guys, how much is your double latte with a shot of nachos or something? How much? It's not free? How come it's not free? But we'll let Miss Nixon tell you about what she's got going on up there.
Running for U.S. Senate in the state of Florida, that I forgot to let y'all know that it is our 2-year birthday at Cafe Resistance. Earlier this week, we celebrated our 2-year birthday, our 2-year anniversary. And
what's a birthday? I don't know. I just turned 66, but I didn't have a birthday. Anybody know what a birthday is? I have to look that up online. So Miss Nixon, continue, because I got to check out what a birthday is, because I don't know anybody who's had a birthday lately.
Forgot to let folks know. Look, y'all. Let's do this. If you come to Cafe Resistance and you do a video about why we're amazing, we'll give you a free smoothie.
Yeah, that's a good socialist. All I've got to do is go make a birthday video at Cafe Resistance. You're going to give me a free smoothie. That's a deal. Doesn't matter what the video says, because you might not like what I say in a video. You might be kind of pissed off, but I'm going to get my free smoothie. Oh, yeah, I might have to go to Jacksonville this weekend.
Let folks know that we're there. We'll also do buy one, get one half off. How about
Wait. Buy one, get one half off. I ain't got no money. I'm a socialist. I'm heading to Jacksonville because I'm down with the socialism stuff. And because I'm down with the socialism, what do you mean I got to buy one to get one free? Well, I can make the video, you get one free. But if I don't make a video, I got to buy one to get one free. That's not too socialistic of you. They should all be free. We should all go to Cafe Resistance and have you give us some movies, even if it isn't our birthday. I mean, that's how it's supposed to work, right? Or now is this how it's supposed to work? Now, because you're running as a socialist, it's different now all of a sudden. By the way, it's your 2-year birthday. Over that 2 years of birthing, selling smoothies, I don't know, how much money have you made? Just checking. Just wondering how much hypocrisy there can be in one socialist movement.
buy one, get one half off smoothies. So
oh, I'm sorry, I was wrong. It's not buy one, get one free. Buy one, get half off. So I still got to pay you. I don't think you're doing this socialism stuff right, honey.
yes, let's celebrate Cafe Resistance, the amazing bookstore and coffee shop and community hub in Jacksonville, Florida.
Hey y'all! So it's your favorite thriller author, and guess what I did today? I went and spent a portion of my day at a Cafe Resistance bookstore. It's located at 5007 Suits Drive. It's on the north side of Jacksonville. It is a black-owned bookstore, and honey, when I tell you, this was my first time going there, but it will not be my last. They had everything in there, and in addition to buying some books, honey, I got food too.
I got some food. I got some food at the Cafe Resistance bookstore. Oh, damn, you don't even know what it's like up in here. We be partying, girl. I got some food. I got me a smoothie. And I got something else, too.
Got a chicken sandwich, a smoothie, and some books, of course. So, if you want good...
I got a smoothie. I got me a chicken sandwich. Of course you got a chicken sandwich. I'm sorry. Could you have bought a hamburger? Just for the video, could you have told everybody you got a hamburger? Did you have to tell everybody you went and got a chicken sandwich? At least you didn't say it was fried chicken sandwich. You got a chicken sandwich and a smoothie. Why must our people do this to us?
Food and books head over to Cafe Resistance bookstore on the north side.
Senate Democratic leadership back.
I just can't. None of this makes sense. None of this makes sense. Now, this guy who's on CNN, I cut this just on purpose because you're not knowing it right now. You won't know it as he's talking, but he's on CNN. He's probably liberal, but he's the wrong kind of liberal. And these people don't realize what his name is Boris, what Boris is all about. Boris is tolerating Miss Nixon here.
Your primary opponent, Alex Vindman. Have you spoken to Leader Chuck Schumer since your win last night?
I have not spoken to the leader, but I have spoken to other U.S. senators, and I'm super excited to have their support. They're going to be publicly coming out in support of me. And look, we are going to expand our big tent.
Big tent, here we go again. So she learned very quickly, in a matter of, 2 days, that, there's a tent here that we need to fill.
To actually work on unifying the Democrats here in the state of Florida so that we can take on Ashley Moody.
Socialism, comes to my free state of Florida? Really?
We show the world what people of Florida are all about. Medicare for all. Universal child care.
Why must every black politician on the left be about giving people free stuff? But then again, she comes by it honestly. If you go to her place with the video, you got to get a free smoothie. But, what about the other thing? I get half off if I just buy. No. Just concentrate on the free smoothie and the free housing and the free universal health care. Because everything about these people is you giving them your money. Notice she didn't say anything about, what she's going to do with Cafe Resistance. I'm going to invite all you people here who are here right now. We're going to go to Cafe, Resistance, and I'm going to give you all some free stuff. No. That's not how it works. We got to get the free stuff from the people who actually got the money. All right, so I told you about Boris. Boris is now, he went from Miss Nixon, now he's going to talk to presumably her boss, one of the co-chairmen, big grand poobahs of the DSA. And he drops a bombshell that leaves the DSA guy completely like, what? Okay, watch this.
You mentioned South Florida and the surprise that a Democratic Socialist would do well in South Florida, in part because of a large population of people who have fled socialism, notably Cuban Americans. The country's largest Cuban American population is in Florida.
Wait a second. What did Boris just say? I might have missed that until here. Let me go ahead and rewind this because I just heard something.
I assume you mentioned South Florida and the surprise that a Democratic Socialist would do well in South Florida, in part.
That's what I thought he said. I'm not sure. Many people haven't been to Florida, but Miss Nixon is in Jacksonville. Jacksonville, if this was a normal state, would be 3 states away. Jacksonville is probably, I don't know, 500 miles from South Florida. 500 miles from South Florida. The ones who were running here in Broward County and the other one who ran against Debbie Wasserman Schultz, they got their ass waxed. So it wasn't those. He's talking about Nixon, who we just got done talking about, and he didn't realize that, you know, Florida is a really, really big state. That to go from here to Jacksonville or here to Tallahassee, you know, you might have to pack a bag or two. It's 500 plus miles. I'd have to look it up, but it's not like it's South Florida. In fact, it's the northest of Florida you could be. If you're any north of Florida, you'd be in Georgia. So, no, don't associate that with South Florida.
Because of a large population of people who have fled socialism, notably Cuban Americans. The country's largest Cuban American population is in Florida. Last week, the DSA commemorated 100 years of Fidel Castro with a statement describing him as an organizer and a fighter. How do you think that plays with Florida voters?
Okay. Now, somebody had said in the chat, am I not friends with Mark Mitchell anymore? Excuse me. I didn't declare war on Mark Mitchell. Mark Mitchell declared war on MAGA. So one of the things that happened after I interviewed with him, as just with many other people we've interviewed, is people sometimes don't know who they're talking to. And one of the things, whenever I have somebody on and I've done an interview with them, I go look up. I look up past history. I go look at things that they've said. I try to find things. Now, I don't want to hear the stuff, the hit that you do on Fox. I don't want to hear the usual crap. I want to find something interesting you said. Like just now, nobody has shown you that clip of Miss Nixon talking about cafe resistance. I go and look. I'm like, hey, did you see this? Do you see all this stuff that she's doing? Well, the same goes if somebody was bringing me on an interview. I would go, okay, what's this person all about? Oh, okay. I would want to know. I bring that up because this little socialist grand poobah decides he's going to do an interview on CNN and he's going to talk to Boris, and Boris is about to lay him to waste. He's setting it up, and this guy doesn't even know the buzzsaw he's getting ready to walk into. It is one of the best interview setups I've ever seen on CNN.
Years of Fidel Castro with a statement describing him as an organizer and a fighter. How do you think that plays with Florida voters?
I think you're seeing the results. You're seeing that play out in these elections where our candidates are campaigning on addressing the cost of living crises that so many people are struggling with in the U.S. and especially.
And right now, Boris knows I got him. I gave him the opportunity. Hey, how do you think this is playing in South Florida? And obviously, when Boris said that Nixon was from South Florida, it could tell he was ready to pounce. And right now, you see the look. That look means I'm about to eat you. I'm going to clean your clock.
In Florida, more and more people are not happy with a government that spends now over $1 trillion on a military budget, on expanding the ICE budget to tear communities apart, kidnapping our neighbors. People want our taxpayer dollars to be used on things like Medicare for all, raising a living wage, providing childcare for everybody. So if we want to expand democracy across the world, and especially in the United States, the policies we're talking about are the way to do it.
I hear your message discipline on affordability. I do wonder whether you understand why a statement like that, lauding Fidel Castro, may not just turn people off from your platform, but offends people who suffered for decades under his dictatorship.
Right now, you should be thinking, Ixnay, back up, something's coming. If you're not astute, if you're not savvy in the world of interviewing, like this guy is, he's about to walk into a very sharp buzzsaw. He's going to dive into the wood chipper here. And the guy is leading him. Come on, this wood chipper's not going to hurt you. Come on. You're not going to get shredded here and look like a complete idiot. but the other guy can't see that that's what he's doing. He can't even tell that this guy is setting a giant trap with him. You know how you can also tell? When the person that you're interviewing with sits up. So as Boris heard him talking, he gave him the look, and he gave him the look with the sit up. And at that point, anybody doing an interview would know, uh-oh, what's he got? So listen to this. I'm not going to interrupt it. Just enjoy this.
Many decades of U.S. policy at this point have shown that if we want to expand democracy across the world, military regime change and economic blockades are not the way to do it. I came of age after Iraq was invaded by the United States, after Afghanistan was, and democracy did not expand there. If we want to expand free and fair elections anywhere in the world, it's about expanding a more open policy toward the whole world. If we were serious about expanding democracy in Cuba, for example, we could start by going back to the opening up, the economic reform that happened under the Obama administration.
Sure, I understand. I understand.
Reform. Yeah,
we have a limited amount of time, but I understand your critique of U.S. policy. It's not an uncommon one. What I'm trying to get at is how you think that lauding Fidel Castro is a good idea and is going to win you votes in Florida.
Giving you one more shot. Last one. I asked you again now. I ask you again. Okay, are you ready?
Many people, especially younger Americans now, are looking at the history of what happened in Cuba and what it was like before the Cuban Revolution, where it was one of the most unequal societies in the Western Hemisphere. People lived under very brutal conditions under a power structure where U.S. corporations were profiting off the labor of the Cuban people. So if we're serious about expanding democracy, going back to the system that existed in Cuba before then is not the way to do it. It's about opening up political and economic reform that starts with free trade, ending the brutal embargo that for over 60 years, under economic sanctions from the United States that have limited trade into Cuba, that has been starving the Cuban people. It's been really brutal conditions. If we look at what's happening now, electricity is being shut down.
Sure.
Food is being shut down to Cuba. So humanitarian disasters like that.
Have you spent much time, Have you spent much time speaking to Cubans who have fled the island because of political persecution, who endured years under the Castro regime, Ashik?
Oh, get ready.
I know plenty of people who are especially second.
Oh, I'm telling you, if you ever have the ability to talk to somebody in an interview and they start feeding you questions like that, you're about to get stomped on like a roach. And these idiots just can't even tell what's coming here. Shut up, run, rip off the microphone, hit stop on the camera, and get out of here. Have you ever talked to somebody who's experienced this stuff you're talking about? I'm like, no.
Third generation Cubans who are finding things out for themselves and wanting to open up a more open communication, open exchange with Cubans. And
have you spoken to people that were politically persecuted? Have you spoken to people who were politically persecuted by the Castro regime, who fled that island because of it?
I cannot believe he fed him that much rope. Come on. And it's just artful. And I don't say that much about CNN hosts, but this guy is just I've never seen somebody on TV just be led to the slaughter the way it's about to occur here.
I have, and there are people who, whatever critiques they might have of the Cuban government, they don't think that an economic blockade and military intervention is the way to do it.
I do wonder how they would feel about a statement lauding Fidel Castro, though, Ashik. That's my concern. I get your criticism of foreign policy. As I said, it's not an uncommon one. But lauding Fidel Castro is a different story. You talk about what things were like before the revolution in Cuba. I'll give you a personal example.
Oh, here it comes. Oh, God. You didn't do any homework on on who you'd be talking to. So now I've heard your bullshit, excuse my language. I've heard you. Now I'm going to tell you how it is. I'm not asking any questions now. Now I'm going to straight up tell you.
My grandfather was a revolutionary in Cuba during that time. He was affected by a previous dictator, Fulgencio Batista, having his friends disappeared in the street for speaking their minds. My grandfather found that revolution hoping to bring democracy to Cuba. And then what happened? Fidel Castro locked my grandfather up, sentenced to 20 years for doing what you're doing now on live TV, for speaking his mind, for expressing himself freely, for trying to organize politically. So I wonder, again, how you think that lands with people who suffered under that dictatorship, who now you are trying to court as voters when your organization comes out and lauds 100 years of Castro. I don't think it would land.
I'm sorry. Oh, now you have officially, I'm going to have to get that. You are officially in a Southwest Airlines commercial. Want to get away? You didn't see that coming. My grandfather. Oh my goodness. My grandfather got locked up by Castro for 20 years. Our family got decimated. We lived it. This is just a fantasy for you DSA nut jobs. My family, and you have you ever talked to anybody? Once. But I just want to know, have you ever talked to anybody that, was subject to the regime of Castro? Let me ask you a third time. Did you ever talk to anybody? Oh my gosh. That, I think, shows that these people are complete buffoons. We've known it, we've seen it, but when a CNN anchor can rein you in like that and just completely eviscerate you on television, live television, you're out there without a net. And at that point, the only answer should have been, if he was smart, the only answer should have been, I am so sorry to hear about your grandfather. I wish I had known what happened to your grandfather, which you should have known. And so, maybe I need to rethink this whole Castro is fantastic thing. Nope. Just going to walk.
Well with them, Ashik.
We're seeing many people in the United States who are seeing.
They didn't tell me what to say. Hassan Piker, what do I say here?
Who are struggling under massive inequality in the United States that's greater than it's been in over a century. Inequality in the United States is higher than it's been in the Gilded Age. We're now returning to something.
So putting out a statement about Fidel Castro courts those people?
We want to expand democracy everywhere in the United States, in Cuba, and everywhere else, and that does not come at the barrel of a gun. It doesn't come at under the threat of economic blockade. That only makes that limits democracy everywhere. So if we want to improve
and
conditions
Fidel
for
Castro
Cubans,
was a beacon of democracy.
Lee, thank you for taking the time today. I gotta bounce. Okay, don't you believe it or not? There's still 2 minutes of slaying going on here. This kid can't extricate himself from the bear trap that he just walked into. There's nothing he could say at this point that's going to appease this guy whose personal family got abused by Castro, and you didn't even know.
I wouldn't say that. I think that the revolution in Cuba led to an expansion of things like universal health care. That's actually been a model that Cuba exports medical care to countries that have.
He's like, I'm done with you. As you're looking at the camera, when you see this move, that means I got nothing to say to your sorry ass anymore. You got nothing. Oh, it's great Medicare in Cuba. Oh, let me pull something else out of here out the bottom of my pants. Yeah, they got great Medicare in a country with no electricity that my family lived through. And that guy is not mine, but I'm talking about Boris here. Somebody asked, well, is Boris for Trump? He may not be for Trump, but he ain't no socialist. He may not be a Trump supporter, he may not be MAGA, but he ain't voting for the Democrats if this is what they're down with.
Very poor infrastructure themselves. There are things like that we could have in the United States the way that it exists in Europe or in so many other countries, but we don't have that. So there are plenty of things that could change and improve in Cuba, that Cuban people would speak for themselves, but Cubans have to be the ones deciding Cuba's future. And we have to support from the United States what makes that possible, which is ending the embargo, ending sanctions. If we want freedom of expression, a free press, elections, people.
See, what the funny thing is that he thinks that people down here in Miami who are from Cuba, which I would still consider them, somewhat Cuban, because many of them would go back in a heartbeat. They would need to be deported. Like, oh, we can go back now? We're going. We got money. We're going to fix this place up. And no, you would know if you've talked to them, they don't want this stuff. Oh man, this guy is so stupid.
Believe in, we have to look at the history of U.S. intervention there. So it's really hard for us to say where the effects of Cuba's government end and where the effects of the blockade begin. And 65 years of strangling an economy, which the United States has done, will do that. So that's why lifting sanctions is what will give Cuba the breathing room it needs for political change to even be possible. And in the United States, our concern is expanding voting rights in the U.S., expanding democracy in the United States, which is under threat from the Trump administration.
I think depending on what economists you speak to, there is some disagreement about conditions in Cuba, how much of it...
Oh, man. Did you notice how he blamed Trump for the embargo on Cuba? Trump's been doing it. Trump's been president for like this long. Do you know how long? Did these people even know how long the embargo was in place? Do they know what Fidel Castro did before the embargo was put in place? Do they know why the embargo was put in place? Nope, not at all.
The embargo, how much is the incompetence of the Cuban government? Nevertheless, my question was about Fidel Castro being a beacon of democracy. I would suggest that perhaps we should have more conversations with folks who have fled that regime and what they think about these statements and the position of the DSA. Nevertheless, Ashik Sadiq, I appreciate you sharing your perspective. Thank you so much for coming on CNN.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And we have to talk about how people are struggling in the United States, and that's why we're winning elections across the country. Thank you.
How much you want to bet he goes on CNN again? No, not with that bald guy. Give me Caitlin or Jake Tapper, okay? Because those are both whack job liberals. And I thought Boris was a whack job liberal, but Boris just sliced him up. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. I was looking for SV. I can't.
I'm back. I'm back.
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine that?
That guy went full retard, didn't he? Don't ever go full retard.
Don't ever go full retard. Oh my gosh. I guess he thought it was a safe space because they're so used to their safe spaces. They could go on CNN and everything would be fine. It's not the big old meanies on Fox. It's not that Barry guy. We're all gonna be safe. There's nothing we need to talk about. Oh my goodness. What is going on with these people? I don't get it. I don't get it.
Nothing surprises me anymore. Nothing at all.
But wouldn't you at least know who you're talking to? Would you? Oh, it's on Fox.
Is it? Massive inequality in the United States.
So putting out a statement about Fidel Castro courts those people?
We want to expand democracy.
And Fidel Castro was a beacon of democracy?
I wouldn't say that. I think that the revolution in Cuba led to an expansion of things like universal health care.
I love it when I do a story and I go home at night and I watch it and I'm like, oh, I covered it because Robin she gets mad sometimes. She goes, oh, check out this story. I'm like, covered it.
I've already seen it.
This story, covered it. We did that. I'm like, yeah, I feel validated that I'm talking about stuff that actually makes an impact. But then again, if you're looking at this stuff, you can't get away from it. It's like, oh my gosh, it's
a train wreck. It's an awesome train wreck.
All right, so I'm sorry if I was laughing too much, but it was just crap. I would have run if I were him. Oh my gosh. All right. So,
right.
you got one or two more here. Okay, let's see here. You got this
Yeah, we
one.
didn't cover the Allie Bradley thing. That was
All right, let's do that.
All right. So, DHS Gov releases arrest details of who it considers the worst of the worst. Yesterday, ICE Gov officers arrested illegal immigrants convicted for crimes including unaliving, armed robbery, assault, and driving while intoxicated. Secretary Mullins said every day the men and women of ICE are risking their lives to arrest and remove the worst of the worst criminal illegal aliens from our communities. President Trump has made it clear illegal aliens are not welcome in our nation. If you're in America illegally, leave now or we will find you, arrest you, and deport you. These individuals will join the more than 41,000 criminal illegal immigrants already in DHS's worst of the worst database. And I've been posting it in the chat, dhs.gov/WOW. 41,000. We got a lot more millions to go, don't we?
Why'd they all come here? If America was such a bad country, it sucks so bad. Well, these enterprising young men have come here and figured out a way to make some money.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, wow, America, you guys are all just all softies over here. Oh, my God.
Well, before you go to the next story, did you see the video the other day of the Cortes, Spain, where they showed them, they were all in their little shanties and stuff?
Yeah.
I was looking, I posted it on my X and I go, interesting. There's no women, no children, but like they're playing with a soccer ball.
Yeah.
They're like just hanging out. Like they really look like they want to be hard workers, don't they?
It's a resort.
They were bathing in the ocean.
They went to Spain. It's a resort. They can hang out by the beach. They've got beachfront homes at this point. Free beachfront homes.
Cardboard boxes.
Probably getting free food, all kinds of goodies and everything else. All right, so before you go here, let me go ahead and download this video. So tell me what the next story is about.
All right, so FBI agents didn't only seize ex-rep Eric Swalwell's phone, but they nabbed his laptop.
Oh.
They stormed his house and seized even more evidence. Yeah,
oh my gosh,
he's in some big trouble.
So what'd they get? They got his laptop and some other stuff.
Yeah, they originally had his phone, but they also took his laptop. So they stormed his house and they seized even more evidence. They say time to lock Swalwell up. The case is building. This is the same ex-congressman who got compromised by Fang Fang. He needs to see the inside of a prison. No one. Remember, he posted a few years ago. No one is above the law.
Yeah,
that didn't age too well, did it?
Well, what the problem is there are no secrets up there. Yeah, I mean everybody knows what everybody else's dirty laundry is, and it's just amazing that here it is in August of 2026 when everybody knew he was sleeping with a Chinese spy years ago. I don't even know when that broke, and nothing happened. I mean, they just got. It's crazy. Here, let's listen to the video.
That was seized, again, all part of that federal criminal probe. Agents apparently took a white Apple iPhone along with its charging cable and the wall charger, as well as, and this is key, an Apple MacBook Pro. Again, according to that inventory, which was signed by FBI special agent.
Wait. SV, you're technologically inclined.
Yes.
What the hell do you care about the charging cable? Is there data that goes through the cable? I mean, I'm looking at the list that they put: the iPhone, the charging cable, and the wall charger. Why would you confiscate the cable?
It doesn't matter. I mean, you want the laptop. Thing is this going to be a fake laptop like Hunter? He's going to claim it's.
Well,
it's not mine.
Again, here it is, 2026. So here's the question: you're him. You know that you've been doing the dirty bop with the Chinese Fang Fang thing.
Right.
You know you got expelled from Congress. You know all this. You think you'd be holding on to the same phone and laptop after? Yeah. I mean, if I did something bad and the laptop's sitting here, I'm like, I'm getting rid of that. I'm not going to walk around with it for 2 years. Just crazy.
And you're not making calls either, right?
No, not on that phone.
Al Biebsheimer.
Nope.
Agents also executed, as you pointed out, a warrant at his home in Washington, D.C. on Sunday, where, again, they seized other potential evidence. Now, you may recall that Swalwell, who was in the bid of a shot at the governor's mansion in California, bowed out abruptly after facing multiple allegations of sexual misconduct, including claims from a former staffer who alleged that he raped her twice. when she was too intoxicated to consent. Another woman accused him of drugging her before assaulting her in 2018, and 2 other women still alleged that he sent them unsolicited images of his genitals.
Weenie.
And of course, who could forget the infamous Fang Fang affair, the one that apparently ensnared the former congressman, into a sexual relationship with an alleged Chinese spy. In fact, just this past Monday, newly classified records were released detailing his past interactions with the spy, all part of the White House Transparency Task Force.
Dude, if you got,
This is like Massey's boner phone.
If you look in the mirror every single day and you go, that's me, that's me right there. What the hell is this woman look seeing me? Okay, he didn't realize. Hey man, she might have been a spy. Because normally you don't hook up with those kind of women. I mean, even with me, my friends are like, "Hey man, you sure about Robin? What? She's kind of out of your league, bro." I'm like, "What do you mean she's out of my league?" Weather service thing here. Yeah, I hope we stay on the air. But anyway,
Barry, Fang Fang is the epitome of a thirst trap. I mean, it's a no-brainer. Come on, man.
Records dump, which detailed that Swalwell told the feds he had occasionally hooked up with Fang. And if that weren't bad enough, Swalwell also facing scrutiny from the Manhattan, New York District Attorney's Office and the LA Sheriff's Department as well. Again, all related to impropriety.
I love a good karma story.
Oh my gosh, he's so cooked, and his little narrow butt ain't gonna do well in prison.
I bet it's getting all gassed up. Oh, never mind.
Fartwell, Eric Fartwell. Oh my gosh. All right, look, I got a couple more stories I want to get to before we get out of here because oh my goodness. I haven't laughed. I haven't laughed. See, it's fun. It's not like on the left. We have fun. Oh gosh.
Yes.
I don't get it. All right, I'll be back to you in a second, a little bit. All right, so I got to be straight with you guys. You guys know how hot it gets down here. The heat waves are crazy, and they could have you chugging water all day long and still feel tired, bloated, and dried out. Nothing sticks. Turns out it's not a drink more water problem. Dr. Josh, a real physician with 25 plus years who knows the liver inside and out, set me straight. Your liver distributes hydration at the cellular level. If those cells aren't holding the water, it just runs right through you and you pee all day and pee all night and you can't understand why you feel tired. That's why you can drink all day and still feel wiped out. Low energy, bloating, that dried out feeling. Most electrolyte drinks are just sugar and salt. So he made LTV. It's a clinical dose marine electrolytes with taurine drink. So cells actually retain water plus milk thistle and dandelion root for the liver. 0 sugar, 0 carbs, 0 calories. Thousands of reviews. You have to understand, as you guys come in here and watch, I'm older, I'm 66. I could lose a few more pounds. Robin's got me working on that. But to be able to keep going for 3 hours at a time, something must be working. And I feel like a different man. No afternoon crashes, bloating is gone, clear-headed, actually hydrated and energized. I don't push any products that don't work. This one does. If you're still drained this summer, go to drinkltv.com/Barry. And for this limited time, you can get up to 57% off. Buy 2, get 1 free. This isn't like, the little Resistance Cafe in Jacksonville. Plus, you get a free jar of creatine only through our link. It's summer. America, it's hot. You need this. drinkltv.com/Barry. Be back in 90.
Welcome back to Fanfare with Barry Cunningham.
This is a featured presentation from the Fanfare Newsroom.
Never mind that idiot Tampon Tim, a guy convicted, an illegal alien convicted of raping a 10-year-old girl, he gives amnesty to. You got to be kidding me.
It's one of the most vile things I've ever seen, Sean. Tim Walz trying to free and protect an illegal alien pedophile in order to maintain his status as a sanctuary for criminals. Truly beneath contempt.
If you look at the president, does he get credit for stopping, let's see, from over 200 countries, we have known terrorists, murderers, rapists, child molesters, other violent criminals, cartel members. Does he get credit for that? Does he get credit for much lower inflation than Biden gave him? Does he get credit for liberating the world of any nuclear threat from Iran? Does he get credit for the largest tax cut in American history, no tax on tips, overtime, et cetera? It seems like the legacy media will never tell the story about the crazy left or what the president does. Why?
Because the legacy media, Sean, is fundamentally corrupt. They are an extension of, an arm of the Democrat Party. Honestly, Sean, the media, the legacy media like CBS and ABC and NBC and every other legacy outlet exists to serve and advance the interests of the Democrat Party.
You know how you can tell he's absolutely true? It's very, very simple. Okay, most of you already know. But how can you tell in today's times that that's absolutely true? Well, it's pretty simple. It's because up until recently, none of the hosts on CNN or MSNBC or any of those networks embraced socialism. Now, socialism is the new black. Everybody can now just wrap their arms around being socialist. But you have to understand, as you're watching, if by chance you end up turning on one of those channels, you have to understand they're full of crap. Somebody asked in the chat, do I use the products that I push here? Yes, especially my best product that I push is this one, Silver. Actually own it. All of these networks exist for one reason. And that one reason is simply, unlike the woman who said not everyone's interested in money, they're in media, they exist to sell. They only exist for television revenue. No other reason. They're not getting money from they're not supposed to get money from the government. They're not like PBS or NPR. They are for-profit corporations, which means the station makes money. The parent company makes money. The hosts make money, which is completely contrary to what the socialists are all about. Well, actually, they actually make money too, but the message that they're saying to all the poor people is, hey, yeah, money sucks, everything sucks, don't want money, money's bad, oh, bad money, well, being rich is bad, yet everybody involved is rich. And it's working. It even works in here. Oh, Barry, not everyone's interested in money. Are you serious? If you went and took a poll and you said and stood on the street, yeah, I just want to find out, do you have any interest in money? And you ask 10 people are going to say yes. Maybe not the same level of interest, but they're definitely interested. What the disconnect is when people look at news, they think they're getting news. They're not getting news. They're getting the shape of the news that they want you to hear. But never lose any sort of focus on the fact that the only reason those televisions are on your dial is to make money, which supposedly is contrary to the socialist. That should explain all the hypocrisy right there by itself.
New York Times, throw in Washington Post, throw in The Atlantic. They should all be required to register as a Democrat political action committee. I mean, let's just think through some of the things that you mentioned. President Trump has been in office in his second term for a year and a half and has solved problems that plagued this nation for decades, generations, or even longer. I mean, just go through the foreign policy piece here. He's completely rebalanced our trading relationship with Canada. He has protected American manufacturing and essential supply chains from China. He has completely rebalanced NATO and ensured that other nations pay their fair share. He is now pursuing peace in the Korean Peninsula, which hasn't been achieved since the armistice in the 1950s. President Trump has single-handedly...
By the way, I have an amazing interview Ashley set up with somebody who is, how can I say, being oppressed in South Korea. And we're going to explain in this interview, it's a two-part interview because it's very long, in regards to what's really going on in South Korea and how the media completely lied about that as well. It's an amazing interview. I'll start it tomorrow.
Toppled Maduro, freed the people of Venezuela, and secured the greatest boon for America's energy and supply chains probably in the history of our country. He's taken the fight to the drug cartels, declared them a foreign terrorist organization, used military power to fight these enemies of human civilization. And as you have mentioned, he stopped Iran, the Islamic theocracy of Iran, from obtaining a nuclear weapon that could destroy an entire city. And now you come at home, he's unleashed American energy, he's building pipelines, he's bringing the price of gas down from the heinous highs of the Biden administration, he's taken inflation from the highest level in American history down to 2%. The largest tax cut in American history, no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime, and he took the most unsecure, dangerous, violent, hellish border in the history of our republic, and 15 straight months, Sean, of zero releases. Zero.
I would love for Stephen Miller, somebody asked in the chat, I would love for him to be the new press secretary. Not going to happen. He's probably not going to take the pay cut. But I'd love for him to do it probably for 2 or 3 weeks, because in those 2 or 3 weeks, he would get up there and he'd say, any questions? The elegant arms would go up because he'd shred them. And so I understand at this point that Scott Jennings may be one of the top runners for this thing. Scott's pretty good too. But, man, would I love to see Stephen Miller stand up there.
Into the country.
These are uncharted waters. This is the most radicalized party that I've ever seen in my lifetime, and that says a lot. Also, the Republicans have something, also thanks to Donald Trump, that they never had before leading into a midterm. It's called money. And we never had a midterm Republican convention. I think it's a great idea. Tell the story to America, because the media won't help. They are the, basically the apparatus of the left wing in this country. They won't even call out the crazy, democratic socialist communists.
No, the biggest news story of our time right now, Sean, is the socialist communist takeover of the Democrat Party. You've gone through the list before. A political party that wants to abolish prisons and jails, that wants to abolish the border, abolish ICE, defund, dismantle, and destroy law enforcement. And as you just mentioned, Sean, they release illegal alien criminals who are raping and murdering innocent Americans. This is a political party unworthy of power, and they must be exposed. And that's what's going to happen at the midterm convention, Sean.
Well,
So let's talk about this midterm convention that Stephen is mentioning. So last night, President Trump had posted something and said we're rallying, we're getting ready, we're going to hit the road. Susie Wiles said it a while back. We're going to treat this like it's 2024. We're going to get out there on the road. One of the reasons why I'm redoing the studio here, getting ready to do it, as you've noticed, a lot more content on X, because now it's game time. We all got the word from President Trump that it's game time. Preseason is over. Let's go. Let me talk to you about this Republican midterm convention. Never has happened before, but here we go. The Republican Party is hosting its first ever national midterm convention on September 9th and 10th at the American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas. Headlined by President Trump, the event aims to rally voters and defend the GOP's slim congressional majorities in the upcoming November elections. And it's, as you can see, it's September 9th and 10th. Airlines Center in American Airlines Center in Dallas. Headliner is President Trump. It's going to be massive. And to me, it is the kickoff for everything that we're seeing right now. I want to see if I can pull up what he posted last night, because it was essentially a call to arms for all of us to get ready. Let me bring it up here. I'm scrolling to it very quickly. And here it is right here. President Trump posted this. Hopefully you guys can see it. Yes, okay. The greatest rally of them all. The midterm convention is coming to Dallas September 9th and 10th. It will be a rally like never before. Incredible. For the first time ever, Republicans from all across the great country will come together for a midterm convention to celebrate our tremendous victories and successes, showcase our incredible candidates, and prepare for the most important midterm election in history. Our movement is bigger, better, and stronger than ever before. We've made America great again. I like how he said it. We have made America great again, not make America. It's made, and we are going to celebrate this tremendous and totally unprecedented success. The radical left lunatics are going to try to destroy our country, but they have failed and will never be successful unless we allow that to happen, and we won't. Continuing, we're going to win the midterms and protect and cherish our country and make it greater than ever before. Be there September 9th and 10th. It will be like nothing else. The music, the excitement, and importance of this evening will be levels never seen at a convention or political event. I will be with you both nights and raring to go. See you in Dallas, President Donald J. Trump. So that was the call to arms. Let's go. Let's go, everybody. We should be ready for it. I'm going to close with something. I'm going to jump, but I want you guys to see this, because this is indicative of the DSA, the communists. You just saw that guy get run over like a buzzsaw talking to Boris from CNN. Now the whole Mondami thing is falling apart as well. Let's take a look at this.
This is a featured presentation from the Fanfare Newsroom.
New York's Mayor Mamdani facing heavy backlash as he targets wealthy second home owners. The botched rollout of his second home tax has a lot of full-time New York City residents demanding answers, asking where is the justice as they're forced to prove that they don't owe the tax. Robert Bertagna wrongly received a notice telling him he owes the city an additional $52,000 a year. And joins.
Can you imagine sitting back, just watching television, having dinner, going out to a Broadway play, coming back, opening the mail, and finding out that the city wants to collect another $52,000 from you? Huh? What is this guy doing?
Us here in studio.
Hello,
Bob,
Sandra.
hello to you.
Hello, Sandra.
I've enjoyed getting to know you the
Yes.
past few minutes as you
Yes.
sat down, and I feel like I want to say sorry you had to go through this.
Appreciate that.
Tell us what happened here. So you live in the city, you raised your family
Sure.
here, you bought the home 30 years ago. Is it a second home?
It is not. So my wife and I bought the house in May of 1996. So we just celebrated our 30th anniversary.
Congratulations.
Thank you. We raised our family there. We've paid New York City income taxes for decades. My driver's license, my vehicle registration, and my voter registration provide all the information you need to know that I am a New York City resident.
So you go out to the mailbox one day and you open up this letter from the city, and it says what?
Well, I was quite appalled. The letter said, Mr. Bertagna, you owe $52,000.
Can you imagine? Now, you probably don't have one of the houses he has in a townhouse, whatever, in New York City worth, millions. But in any event, walking out and getting any bill from where you live when it's not expected. You would know what your bills are. You know you got to pay the light bill, the water bill, things of that nature. But you get this envelope from the city, and the city goes, by the way, we want an extra $5,000. We want an extra $7,000. Or in his instance, $52,000. What? What in the hell happened? How in the hell are you just going to take $52,000 more out of my pocket?
Pied-à-terre tax, unless you apply for an exemption, and I can't remember the exact date, but it was the end of August, so I didn't have a lot of time. So naturally, I applied for the exemption right away. But frankly, Sandra, I should never have had to apply for that exemption. There's readily available evidence that I am a New York City resident.
It's like they assumed you were guilty until you had to prove your innocence.
Absolutely.
That's crazy.
Totally crazy.
Okay, so first of all, you quickly responded because you feared that you were going to get stuck in the back of a long line of people who were having to prove that they
Absolutely.
didn't owe this tax.
Absolutely. I applied right away. I did get an exemption, but again, I think this is, I felt frankly targeted, and I think it's pretty clear this is a standard socialist playbook, which is target anybody who has a modicum of wealth, a family, harass them, intimidate them, and ask them to justify why the government shouldn't charge them for a tax that they don't owe.
I don't know.
So this is a question that should be asked of every one of these socialist candidates running all over the country. Are you in favor of increasing people's taxes on their properties, things they've been paying, they've been living for years? Are you going to find a way to basically squeeze people as much as possible? And if so, who has to be, under the umbrella of that tax? Because the answer is yes. What people aren't realizing is they're not just coming for rich people. Let me just tell you, $52,000 in tax, which sounds like a lot, but you start working the math backwards. The tax is like 4 or 5%, which means 52,000 is not on a huge $20 or $30 million property. On a $1 million property, $1 million, the tax would be 50 grand. So if this was supposed to be for the people who own $200 million, giant luxury apartments, imagine what their tax bill is. Go look up what the tax rate is. It's 4 or 5%. 5% of $1 million is 50 grand. 5 million would be 250 grand. 10 million, can you see where these numbers are going? They're just looking to basically cornhole everybody. And wow.
Politics. I don't know who your friends are, but do others like you feel this way?
Absolutely. Many people I know, particularly in my neighborhood, have received very similar types of notices, and many of them are residents of New York.
There's a lot of people saying right now, well, this is what New Yorkers voted for. They voted for this guy. They voted for Mayor Mamdani. Do you want to keep living in the city?
I'm going to live in the city. We have 4 generations of family in and around New York City. I don't really think that I can leave New York. My friends are here. Frankly, what I'm most worried about is my children say, we want to build some wealth, and we don't want to be in a position at some point where the government's going to come for our wealth.
I just want to get this in here. Jason Haber is a real estate agent. He was on the program yesterday, feels very strongly about what is happening to New Yorkers, and said this, listen.
The government should have the burden of saying who's paying the tax, not the citizen. I mean, this is so backwards. The way they're implementing it is rushed. This has all been slapdash, scattershot, poorly thought out, and it's the taxpayers who have to defend themselves. It's wrong, it's unfair, and everything about it has been botched.
And I hear you going beyond that, saying you feel like you were targeted. This is the spokesman.
What do you mean feel like he was targeted? They published his name and all the information in, I don't know what newspaper. I think they did it online. They put all of their business out in the street. It's insane. So now this guy and his friends, other people in the building, wherever he lives, they're all targets.
Person for Mayor Mamdani on this second home tax. I want to make sure we get their side in here. He says, from the beginning, we have been clear that the pied-à-terre surcharge is an important source of revenue for our city. This revenue is...
I brought this up to you yesterday. Somebody else showed this slide. And I always want to bring people to the point of where they say things like critical investments. It's not an investment. They're not looking to return your money to you. They're not looking to return a return on the investment. It's literally just taking your money and whatever they're calling it, it's definitely not an investment.
Essential to funding safer streets, cleaner parks, and other critical investments that New Yorkers across all 5 boroughs deserve. I'll let you have a final thought on all of that.
Sure. We certainly deserve that, but we certainly deserve to be treated fairly. And we shouldn't be in a position where we have to justify ourselves to the government. That's not what we're about here in the United States. Those are not the basic principles in which our country was founded.
Well, we're glad that you got it cleared up.
Thank you.
I mean, how many others are they getting wrong here?
Apparently,
This is not a second home for you, and you've got a letter saying you owe this.
And just to be clear, and I know Mr. Haber said it was botched. I'm not sure it was botched at all. I think it was quite intentional, to be honest.
Bingo. See, that's the thing. People give these socialist commies too much credit in the wrong way. Oh, we botched it. No, they didn't botch it. This was 100% intentional. He said to somebody, click the button, put all these 900,000 people on blast. And that's exactly what they did.
This is, he has defended this rollout and frankly has encouraged it. So I think as New Yorkers, we need to fight back.
Your name's out there too, by the way.
It is out there with many other people.
Are you going to take any further legal action?
I probably will not. Unfortunately, I'm told 900,000 homeowners have been put on a database, which in just a few clicks, their names can be downloaded.
Goodness gracious. You've been through a lot, Bob. And you're retired now. You're supposed to be taking it easy.
Yeah, thank you.
Taking it easy. I don't even know what that means. I don't know what retired means. But the fact that he's been run through the ringer and he won't take further legal action, it's only going to get worse. They're not going to stop. They're going to keep coming for you. Barry, how can you say that? You don't know that. Yeah, I do, because this next part of this story proves that. Now, all of you guys know that they want to do these grocery stores where they're going to take, 30, 50, 60, 70 million dollars and open up all these grocery stores. And the grocery stores are supposed to help, the poor peoples, which they're going to make you show an ID. But it's supposed to help the poor people. We're going to help them get a 30% off of all the prices that normally other people pay in other stores. Interesting. So aren't the other stores going to be pissed off? Well, let's see.
I think ultimately the goals of these locations, not just here in East Harlem, but any borough location, is to be complementary to the neighborhood, and really, rising tides, right? We can all cooperate and work together in a meaningful way.
Do you mind, what is I've heard that term from EDC officials, that these are meant to be complementary. What does that mean? What does that complementary mean in terms of policy, operations, and things like that?
Yeah, I think we're, as an agency, looking at a number of different complementary.
Oh, by the way, she said, as you heard, as an agency. She's one of the grand poobahs that Mondami has put into running these grocery stores and getting them up and operated and making sure that everybody's ready to go. So you're looking at a city executive right here.
Policies and programs, grants, incentives that can come alongside these grocery stores to support other, local independent businesses that are in the neighborhoods. We're going to continue to listen, and we're going to continue to engage, and I'll be, alongside the operator as our partner. And like I said, making sure that we are complementary to the other businesses that are here in the neighborhood.
So other locations, other grocery stores can get grants from the city under this?
Something on the table. We're exploring a lot of different options and opportunities. I think, there's a whole host of...
You guys catch that? So, the taxpayers of New York are being bled dry to fund these fake-ass grocery stores. And so now some of the merchants are like, this isn't right. You're going to sell your stuff for 30% below everybody else. That's not right for us. So now they are going to give grants that the taxpayers will pay for to make up for the losses they incur by people shopping in the Mondami stores, which wouldn't occur if you didn't have the Mondami stores. I don't know if you followed that three-card Molly at all. They're opening grocery stores that are going to undercut the market. We're going to sell it for 30% less. Everybody else is like, wait a minute, you can't screw our business. Okay, we'll give you money to make sure the 30% off doesn't affect your business. They're like an Oprah show. Everybody gets some money. Everybody gets some. There wouldn't be a problem if you didn't try to open grocery stores and sell it 30% below. So now you're like, you got a problem. All these people are complaining. We need to fix it. What do we do? Throw some money at them. They'll be okay. Where are we getting the money? We'll just tax everybody. That is the proverbial. That is the literal interpretation of the arsonist putting out the fire. Yeah, it's funny because that just ran on Fox too. Wait a minute. Did you just say you're giving people money to fix the problem that you caused? Yeah, we're looking at everything's on the table. How about closing these damn stores that you're trying to open up?
Levers that the EDC is able to work within to make sure that everyone has equitable and equal access to opportunities here.
Thank you.
This is a mess. As I had on the lower third, it's an absolute mess. This guy has no clue what he's doing. He's borrowing money from, the state. He's trying to play literally a three-card Monte. And now to make sure that the other businesses aren't pissed off, what he's going to do, let me pay off these other businesses so they don't get mad that we're selling stuff cheaper. It's cheaper for you not to open the store than to pay other people not to get mad. I don't get it.
Begin with. Well, it would be funny if it wasn't so tragic, right? Because they're really stealing our money. They're finding, socialists are always the best at finding new ways to steal our money, to solve problems that they created by stealing more of our money in the first place. And that's what they're doing here. They're taking $30 million to create a government grocery store that nobody asked for, that nobody needs, because there are plenty of grocery stores in the city, that is going to be subsidized at a 30% discount. Obviously, there's going to be shortages. Obviously, it's going to take business away from other places. It's not targeted towards the poor. And instead of saying, we're going to cut your taxes, maybe your property taxes, your income taxes, no. We're going to create yet another government grant program that you need to apply for, that the friends get first. This is how socialism works. And the grocery stores haven't opened in the first place yet.
So then Mamdani looks at the private grocers who are like, this is going to undercut their business.
It's a bad roller coaster. It makes that. Sandra Smith, if you don't know her history, she came from Fox Business. She used to work on, I think, CNBC, but she was in the business end of things. And anybody who you don't even have to be an economics person. You can look at this and go, wait a second. You're going to open a grocery store and there's going to be a discount, which is going to hurt people's businesses. Now we're going to tax people more to pay for the people we're hurting. I can't take it. It literally is a walking, talking joke. And yet there are people probably in his office and socialists and people on the left who's like, it's a good idea. Instead of just saying, maybe we shouldn't open the grocery stores to begin with. Help me, man.
All right.
I can't take it. It doesn't make any
Socialism
sense.
and communism has never, ever worked. And I think at this point, I think Madami is doing it on purpose to totally destroy New York City because he just wants to destroy the city. I think it's one of his goals. He doesn't care.
No, not at all. All right. So what's this one? You got some for clandestine here. Go ahead with this.
All right. This was you got time. This will be a few minutes.
Oh, I got all the time because I'll put you on. I'm going to sleep or run to the bathroom or something.
All right. So clandestine is once again talking about, Candace Owens and the rest of the cult. So he has a flashback to March 2025. This is when I began publicly encouraging people to block Candace Owens, Ian Carroll in their moronic cult. This is when they randomly decided that RFK Jr. was controlled by Israel because he didn't do something they wanted immediately when they wanted it. Candace Owens and Ian Carroll dug up some old debunked sexual assault allegations against RFK Jr. and claimed they had concrete evidence from secret sources. I love that. Secret sources that RFK Jr. was being blackmailed by Israel. Spoiler alert, they never produced any evidence for any of these claims, silently walked back all the reporting after they were exposed as liars, and then moved on to the next thing, which of course ended up being Trump Israel bad. Then when Charlie was assassinated, they did the same thing all over again. So this is my way of saying, I told you so. And he shows the...
What's he got at the bottom there? Is that a picture of them? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Allegedly. Allegedly.
That's just... Yeah.
It's amazing now when if you can see clearly that this thing has been a scam from so many people for so long. It's
money.
It's
money and
bad.
clicks. Yeah.
I mean, he's pretty much dropped off the planet. I haven't seen much from Ian Carroll in quite some time. I don't know what he's doing now.
He made his money and he's probably on an island somewhere.
All right. So what's this one?
All right. You might have time for it because it's a couple-minute video, but Secretary Sean Duffy, the transportation secretary, he tells his daughter in his video not to go to Harvard because it's a leftist indoctrination factory. Duffy goes, they have professionalized figuring out how they can take good young girls and corrupt their minds. Mm-hmm. I don't want them fed only one viewpoint, contrary to the way my kids were raised. Wow. Good father right there.
Let me see. Is he actually talking to her in this video?
Yeah, and his wife's in it too. It's like a 2-minute video. So I don't know if you're pressed for time. So.
No, I'm done. So I'm just finishing up with you here. Let me hold on. Let me download it. I should have downloaded it before, but I got it.
I just put it up. I just
okay.
keep throwing you stuff. Yeah.
All right. So, by the way, just want to let you know when I get all this stuff hooked up, I don't have to worry about the sound being bad because I'll have levers like a broadcast studio. So it'll be pretty sweet in terms of how we do it. All right. So let me
excuse the dust, people. Excuse the dust.
Yeah, we're getting there. A lot of different stuff happening. All right. So I may have to adjust this a little bit more. Hold on.
Let's say you got into Harvard. Would you be pushing us to actually have you go?
Probably, because if I don't get in, I kind of like accept it. I'm not going to be upset. But if I do get in, I feel like you can't say no.
To Harvard?
Yeah.
Well, me and Mom can say no.
Catholicism to us is everything. It's the basis of our marriage. It's the basis of our family. So I'm nervous about the idea of Paloma going to Harvard. We spend a lot of time nurturing and providing formation for our kids, giving them an environment where they are steeped in faith and values. And so the idea of dropping her off at a place that would undermine that or try to undo all those things makes me worried.
And again, I don't want them to get one viewpoint. I want them to get a lot of different viewpoints. But I don't want them fed only one viewpoint that's contrary to the way my kids were raised. Listen, my problem is we have thought about how we raised you and how hard we've worked to, I think, raise what is a remarkable young girl. If I send you there, I think what happens is they have professionalized figuring out how they can take good young girls like you and I think corrupt their minds. You don't have to believe what I believe. You don't have to have the political viewpoints that I have. But I do think it's important that you make those choices for yourself and you have a fair representation of what they are. And I don't think the Harvards of the world give you that kind of well-rounded picture.
But I went to an extremely conservative school in high school, and I'm part of an extremely conservative family. And then if I go to a liberal setting, that's a way more rounded education than if I go to a conservative high school and then go to a conservative college. That's just being kind of one-sided anyways.
But they're so good at it. You'll see young people go to a conservative school with a conservative family, and they get perverted and contorted. Are you ready?
I like Sean, and I like his wife as well. But I had a problem with that, because if you're sitting in front of me and telling me I gotta pay for it, you're gonna go where I want you to go. If you got a job or you got an inheritance, you got some money, go ahead. You want to go to Harvard, but if you're asking me to pay for it, I don't think so. Especially not Harvard. I mean,
that's cheap.
Come on, Sean. I don't know if you want her going to Harvard. Man, but she hasn't been accepted yet, or so good luck. Now, I see this next piece. Is there a video attached? I can't play this video because I played it one time. I played this video, and believe it or not, what's his name? NBC cracked down on it. So this is, yeah, they did. So this is President Trump. What is it?
Throwback Thursday. So apparently back in the day, Mario Andretti had President Trump in the car and went for a spin around New York City.
Who's this? This is the White House. So if you go to the White House's page, the video's sitting there.
I'll post it.
It's pretty funny. He gets in, he comes out. I think this aired on Saturday Night Live. And he walks out of Trump Tower. He gets into a modified race
I'm in a hurry
with Mario Andretti, and he takes them all around the city. So it's a pretty cool video. But I remember putting it up and NBC going, nope, that's ours. Oops. You can't play it. I'm like, all right, you bums. You bums.
Bums.
Anyway. Okay, so Elon's working.
All right,
What's
so this is kind of interesting. So I love, the technology that Elon, obviously he can park the rockets on pads. So he's talking about the Raptor 3 engine. Now, before people say, okay, you got the diesel engine, look how big it is and complicated. How's the Raptor 3 going to go in a car? It's not meant to be designed, that's not the message. The message here is showing, look at that little rocket. That's like many different versions that they've enhanced the technology to do what they're doing to get those rockets up into space. So they're showing what engines kind of looked like back in the day, and he's putting it into like a little, sure, there's many of them at the bottom of the rocket, but I think that's such cool tech. I mean, how do you come up with that design?
Is that scaled? That's how big the rocket motor is?
I don't believe it is. I'm sure it's larger, but look how the less pieces are on it, so the design has been streamlined. It's kind of like, I'm a Star Trek fan. Remember when they started out with the starships and then everything got sleeker and then, the lithium crystals, and all that kind of jazz. But I mean, technology, as we get smarter, things get more efficient, right? So I thought that's kind of interesting. SpaceX, the stock is going up.
Oh,
Tesla,
it's rebounding now after the initial thing.
Went down a little bit.
Yeah, it went down, and now it's coming back. Wait a minute, I'm seeing Jessica Tarloff on the 5, and I was told that she was no longer going to be on that show, but
not again.
She's back, unless her break hasn't started yet, but maybe that's what it is. But in any event, she's back on it. Well, thank you for today and all those different things.
Awesome, enjoyed it.
It went very well. Tomorrow, Friday, we'll be doing something in the afternoon, but I'm not sure yet what we're doing.
Sounds good.
So I will be in touch with you next couple hours, maybe tomorrow morning.
Have a great evening, everyone.
All right, thank you. We're going to jump into some super chats here real quick. Hold on, let me make it good. There we are. All right. The DSA, this is from G-Money. The DSA Cold has much more cash than the very broken delinquent DNC. Yeah, that's probably why they want to be on it, because they're going to take their money. I wonder where they're getting that money from. Let me go back up to the top. Sorry. Alec, watch them sue to stop the race. Too late. No, they can't. They would have stopped it already. Ernest, do we want to bring up the morale of the MAGA and Republicans? We need more Trump rallies. Coming on the way. Bazul, Melanie's foster plan foils the traffickers. Yeah, indeed. And you won't see any of the socialists talk about it. They don't want to have anything to do with it in terms of people finding prosperity. Because remember, like the lady said in the chat, nobody's interested in money. Or some people aren't interested. Alec, I wonder how Mandami would benefit from such attack. Well, we probably know how he could, his fellow comrades. Alec, roll out the old Sparky. Yeah, Zapper. Cheers up. I bet aliens visited us recently, saw the mess we were in, and decided to leave before they got caught. What we had. I told Robin that. I said, if I'm an alien, I'm like, we don't have to blow up anything. Let's just get, we've been around for a long time. Let's just give these people some time, because if they don't fix it, they're going to just do themselves in. I completely agree with you. G-Money, she's Caitlin upstairs and Bruce downstairs. Yeah, because it never went through the actual, lop a dick off to me. Fazul, New York Moss peep got cockier since 9/11, haven't they? Yes, they have. Very cocky. Moshe, I'm so tired of doom and gloom because as a caregiver, I have to pick up an older man's spirit almost daily because he isn't as mobile as he used to be. I know. And the last thing you want to do is open up a social media app and see people complaining over and over and over. Cheers up. Tell Karen next month when she has to pay her bills, just write a God bless in the box and send it in. Let's see how long her electric stays on. Yeah. Some of us aren't interested in money. Cheers up. Oh, yeah, she definitely committed lots of SBA fraud. Indeed. Alec, when it comes to New York planned attack, have they looked into Al Sayed's mother? Good point. I'm going to talk to you about that tomorrow. Cheers up. Too bad this fool wasn't in the same room as Boris. He should have he can still see on the monitor. I can see SV when the SV's talking, so he should have been able to see it. Boris raised his eyebrows and lean in. Boris is like, shove your universal health care where the sun doesn't shine. Moshe, this guy is such a loser. He hasn't learned history at all. None of them have. And they count on the fact that the people they're talking to don't know history. Cheers up again. Waiting for Boris to turn Incredible Hulk on this boy. He sure did. Michael, Barry, I'm so sick of these young, dumb communists. Do they not know that Castro's family made billions while Cubans suffered? Nope. Or if they do, it doesn't fit their narrative. Cheers up. Fang Fang used to whip Swalwell with the laptop cord. Oh boy, dirty mind. G-Money, off the other chat. She Caitlin did go all the way. Oh boy. Oh, she did? I didn't know that she had to lap a dick off of me. Wow. Andrew, Eric Swalwell bought the swallow. Oh, yeah, he'll be fun in jail. Tania, Barry, we heard from Kateri. We're a bit worried. Kateri. I'm not sure who you mean, but thank you. Alec, do they have a problem with scholarships where they have a problem with scholarships were for grievance studies? Exactly. Cheers up. If Scott Jennings becomes press secretary, Abby Phillips is the entire crew of mentally ill liberal commies will be out of a job. It's the only reason anybody watches that show is because Scott, he carries them. You're right. G-Money, DSA Cold has much more cash. Oh, that's what I read earlier. Okay. Penny, social meaning is literally borrowing from Peter to pay Paul until Peter goes broke. Moshe, communism is a Ponzi scam. It is. Alec, was Trump snake poem really calm for Democrats? Seems like it, doesn't it? It very well seems like it. And lastly, this is Alec, NG Nixon is Jasmine. Not gonna lie, she's Jasmine Crockett. All right, everybody, thanks for tuning in. We wrapped up another 3-hour party here, so I will see you guys tomorrow.